Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to that special time of the month. And no, we're not talking about a period. It's Anime Odyssey, where we just weeb out. It's what we do here. We put all the other crap to the side, and we just talk anime. Hi, Dermy. It's as though I never freaking see you at all. God damn.
Well, to be fair, we haven't really seen each other much this week.
No. I see you in my nightmares.
Oh, I usually see you in my dreams. Although
Anyway.
my dreams would probably be your nightmare.
Yeah, you
could just imagine why I'm so happy.
You brown shirt wearing, big smile, hand up MFer. How are you doing?
You put two and two together. I'm doing just fine, you know. It's been a hectic week, but it's finally Thursday, and not only do I get to do a show that I look forward to every single month, it's also the beginning of my vacation. So from here until Thursday, I'm off.
Yeah, you got a 24-hour stream tomorrow, don't you?
No. Saturday.
Why do I keep thinking it's Friday? I don't know. That's me.
Yeah, I was wondering. You said something about like behind the scenes. You were like, "Yeah, you know, tomorrow we got a drive-in and stuff," and it's like, tomorrow's Friday.
Leave me alone. I'm on 4 hours of sleep. Leave me alone. I do the best I can.
Listen,
Anyway,
I gotta do my job. Okay, I gotta do my job.
yeah, the truck stop stalls won't
Die
win
Heil
themselves.
Sie Kuka.
Okay, attempted German, fine. Anyway, welcome
Crossbow.
one and all across both the chats. We're happy to have everybody here. We hope you guys have had a good week up till now, and you're battening down the hatches for whatever is going to come over the next several days. No, Goddess is not a bot, although
No, he is. He's an AI powered bot that we made in a lab, and then the Canadians came by and took him, and now he's corrupted.
yeah, well, it doesn't change the fact that he likes to make me sad with the things he says to me. Anyway,
That's because he's a Canadian.
And no Kelly Scope, we start on time. This is an 8:30 show. We are starting exactly on time because we are not, well, we're late and Dermy is gay. So there is that. Well,
Sexuality.
Okay, we were supposed to have a guest, but we had a scheduling conflict. Brandon, the anime guy, will join us next month. He'll be here for next month with whatever Dermy has installed to try and trick me into watching Madoka Magica this time. How many times you tried to trick me into watching?
I've tried to trick you into Madoka Magica a few times. I've tried to trick you into
Delicious Dungeon a couple times.
Delicious Dungeon. I've tried to trick you into a few things. We'll see. I still haven't finalized my list yet. I got some things I'm thinking of.
Yeah. And I'm gonna announce this now. We've talked about it, but this is the first time we're announcing it officially on this show because it pertains to this show. We'll say it now, and I'll remind everybody of the show. In January, we're having a special panel show. Not just me and Dermy. We're looking to expand the panel because it's our first, probably one of many, One Piece special. That is right. We're gonna do nothing but talk One Piece for the entire show. We don't know how long it'll go, and we will be talking from East Blue all the way up through into Marine Ford. So start getting ready for that if you are not, because everything in basically the first half of the series before the time skip is fair game for discussion. So get ready for that. We're looking to put together a fun old panel for that one. I'm sure that listen, I already know how to start a couple of fights. So we'll get there. We'll have some fun, and I'm looking forward to it because I am always in the mood to talk One Piece. And also, I think it'll be a nice thing for some people because some people are going to be a little starved for some One Piece because it's on hiatus right now. The anime is anyway. I don't know if the manga is. I took a personal break from the manga to let chapters pile up as they head to Elbaf. So I'm kind of just taking it easy. So a lot of people though, no anime. And you know what? I'm fine with that. You all need to not get. You don't need a filler arc. You don't need it.
We need filler arcs. Shut up.
You don't.
But no, I'm in the. I'm trying to think. It's not
What?
Not the tail end of the Wano arc. I'm in the middle of the war on Onibashuna.
Yeah, that's filler.
The war.
Anything between Wano and Egghead is filler.
No, I'm on Wano.
Oh, you're on Wano. Okay. Oh, they're attacking the castle.
Yeah, they're in the middle. Well, they're at like the beginning part of attacking the castle, and I think the last episode I saw, the flower guy. He died.
Yeah.
Is the last thing I saw. I believe I saw, or I was around there.
Listen, nothing matters till Luffy gets to the top of the castle. Nothing matters. Then the party begins. Because oh man, I remember reading it when it was happening. I was reading it when it was happening. What is it, like 2 years ago now? Shit.
So, I know. Because I'm me. I know what is coming.
Well, everybody knows. Everybody knows what's.
Everybody knows what's coming.
You have to live under a goddamn rock to not know what's coming.
I know what's coming. I know what's like some specific things here or there, like some fights here or there, and I'm like, man, we're moving right along. And then I start looking through the episodes, and it's like, oh no, we got Jesus Christ, how many times? What the fuck?
Well, it's the classic One Piece anime trick. We're gonna repeat shit and slow shit down, and replay moments from the previous episode, the starting episode, to eat up like 4 or 5 minutes of a 22-minute episode. So
yeah,
that's the old One Piece anime trick.
I had to take a break, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I was getting very annoyed with we need to speed this up a bit. We have a lot we still have to get through.
They really started doing that hard during Dressrosa. That's when they really
Mhm.
started doing that. It's like, oh, we're gonna repeat 3 or 4 minutes from the previous episode to start the next episode. It's like, but I just saw this. Ah, ah. Oh, well, just I'll bring it up since we mentioned it. Samuel doesn't like Dressrosa. He doesn't like Dressrosa. That's where he is right now.
I will we'll probably talk about more in other times.
Mhm.
I'll say this, Dressrosa, it took a little bit actually to get into.
He's already into the Coliseum fight and he's not enjoying it.
I was not enjoying it in the Colosseum moment.
Really? Really? Hmm.
No, I'll be honest, I was not enjoying it that much. I was more like, okay, can we hurry it up? Because there was a lot of just eh.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
would say the final fight in the Colosseum was that's when I started picking up, but then it slowed down drastically again. Dressrosa, there's some parts I was like, I'm not actually
Well,
enjoying it that much.
Dressrosa is some serious character work
Yeah.
on the arc specific characters. So some
Mhm.
serious character work, and I like Dressrosa. I'm once again at something I read before I watched it. So when I watched reading it's different than watching it. So I don't know,
I'll
but
say Dressrosa gets really damn good though.
mhm.
Like
Oh, I
really
mean,
good. I would say in the second half.
Doflamingo was a beast of a villain for that. Unfortunately, after that, Zoe is really slow. I don't like Zoe.
Zoe is
Zoe is
slow and
slow.
boring, and I slept through most of it.
It's not
Whole
fun. Whole Cake picks it up because you get well, I mean, you're dealing
whole
with the
cake.
big mom. You're dealing with Big Mom, and
Yeah,
that's
you're
interesting.
dealing with Big Mom, which is more intimidating. But my favorite thing in Whole Cake is the battle Luffy does with her son.
Her son, yeah, Mr. Dogface. I always call him Mr. Dogface. I don't remember his name.
I don't
Um,
remember his name either, but I like her son. I like him, the
yeah,
Mochi guy.
the Whole Cake gets very hardcore in terms of those fights because Luffy gets the shit kicked out of him in that fight. And he somehow, digs deep and comes back for another round. Well, that's when we first see Gear 4 Snake Man. That's we first see Snake Man in that one. But yeah, it's I like Whole Cake, and of course Wano's Wano. There was so much build up, and Wano delivers on all levels, and
Wano
it's
is fan fucking tastic, but I mean,
yeah.
when you're in that end part, it's like I want to
Well,
see the goods. Just give
well,
me the
listen. All right, all
goods.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hold on, child. Think about when we were back when it was in the manga, and we're sitting there reading it. There was no knowing what was going to happen. Nobody knew Gear 5 was going to happen. Nobody knew. And when it did happen, it was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh shit, is this Gear 5? Is this Gear 5? And then he did it, and then everything involved with Gear 5. And what you will learn about the truths of the gum gum fruit. So it's great. And then of course, after Wano, Egghead, without spoilers, because you're not there yet. Egghead is not so much about the fights, although the end is a rocking roll and roast ride. The Egghead is all about lore and revelations and learning shit and understanding the truth of the world, secrets from
Uh,
the void century. So,
So I don't know what the secrets are. I know some of the stuff that happens in Egghead.
well, yeah, I mean, people spoil shit all the time, which sucks. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I know what the final fight is, and I'm like, yeah.
the final fight is insane, especially the final moments are insane. And I've said it before, so this isn't exactly spoiling because I've said it in a chat. I still say that Jewelry Bonnie, will be the 11th Straw Hat. I'm still saying that, or the 12th Straw Hat if Vivi finally reconnects and gets back with the team. But
And we are nerds. We love to be nerds.
yeah,
But
of
I
course we're nerds. We are nerds. Anyway, we have diddled around long enough.
we don't need to be
We
talking about diddling.
well, you always whatever. I'm not gonna play your games. We have a show to talk about tonight. We are going to talk about Blockade Battlefront Season 1. There are 2 seasons. I know that the manga completed a long ass time ago, apparently. I was just looking it up today when I was just gathering from some information. The manga ended in like 2015 or some shit like that. 10 volumes. So it's done.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. 10
Yeah.
volumes.
Yeah, 10 volumes, and there's season 1 and season 2. So I don't think there'll ever be a season 3, honestly. I don't think at this point, I don't think there will be because
I've never finished season 2, so I don't know if they even have it open
thing
that they
about
could do a season 3.
thing
So
about season 2 is it's just a lot of standalone character episodes, really. That's the majority of now. They're fun. They're fun episodes, but there's no it doesn't have the buildup that season 1 has, leading to something. And it's also not really much about Leonardo anymore. It's about the
Mhm.
rest of the team more often than not. So we're gonna go season 1. If Brandon was gonna be here, we were gonna have a back and forth about the now over summer season of anime. I will still make some comments on it because I don't have much else prepared. So I do have a top 10 we can go over, Dermy. I have a top 10 we can look at and we could judge whether or not well it's I think it was a Shield BR or Shield Rant. Let me see. It's Shield Rant. So it's bullshit. I mean, remember, they're full of shit. These are morons who say every anime is from Crunchyroll. That's how fucking retarded they are. Like, this anime on Crunchyroll, this anime from Crunchyroll. Like, no, shut up. Shut up. And actually, you know what? I do have a discussion article. I think you know about this.
You
Make sure
sent me something, and
that was I only saved this last night. If I sent you
oh,
something, I don't remember what it was. I know I sent you something. I might want to hold that one off. I don't Oh yeah, okay, here it is. I did send you that one. Oh, so we do actually have 2 articles to go over. I'm missing on. We have one, basically activist weirdos trying to tell us that Ranma half is a trans allegory. We've got that. I remember that. Thank you for reminding me. I did have that.
mhm.
But at the same time, I have one that I picked up last night that the United Nations is trying to say manga and anime may incite violence against women and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah.
gonna do a video on that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll have that. Then I do have one thing, just one thing to maybe add to
Something.
this because it's
That's fine.
Halloween's.
What do you got?
Might as well just say our favorite spooky anime.
Happy Halloween, everybody. There you go.
Well,
I said it.
hey, he didn't realize that the ending of this first season took place on
I
Halloween
forgot.
when he picked it. Yeah, he forgot it.
I
So
forgot.
it fits. Everything here just fits perfectly, but we might as well also say what our favorite spooky anime is, maybe at one point.
I don't know if I have an answer for that. I'd have to think about it. Well, I guess I'll ponder it in the back of my brain. All
I'm
right, so
probably too good at this because most spooky animes are misery porn. So
yeah, and I mean, what? All right, what qualifies as a spooky anime?
I would say dark animes that have a darker theme and deal with supernatural stuff.
Oh, Supernatural, definitely. Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
and
before
I have to specify
specify,
the darker because if I just said supernatural, then the next thing we were gonna
that's
say
a whole
is
category.
Rosario Vampire.
I tried watching Rosario Vampire years ago. I couldn't get past like the second or third episode.
It's worth it for the tits.
Okay, maybe I'll try again one day.
It's not a great anime, but it's worth it for the tits.
It has like a couple seasons, doesn't it? I remember
It's
I tried watching it because
2.
it was when I was laid up and I was trying to watch everything and anything, and I was going by series length, like how many episodes there were, and that did come up, and I just couldn't get past like the first couple episodes. I was like, so I guess I didn't get to the titties in that yet.
Rosario Vampire has titties and vampires, and guess what else has vampires? Just not titties.
This show?
Yes.
Well, this has an interesting version of vampires too. It's an interesting.
Yeah, I actually do
version of
like how the
vampires.
vampires are doing this.
And before we get going, if you are in my chat, I am using that little new widget that YouTube has provided, the live chat super chat goal. If we get 5 super chats over here on my side of the stream, Dermy and I will start to put together a time where you, the fans, will get to choose what we watch for an episode. So if we can get 5 super chats over on my side, we'll do that. We'll put that together. Won't be probably until earliest February or March of next year, but we will start to put it together and we will create some rules for this. No, Kaylee, I did not. We fell short of it last night on the gaming stream. So I will continue to get to choose whatever I feel like playing when we get back to some gaming. So there we go. So there it is, guys. Super chat away. Jeremy, do you have? Well, you just want super chats because you're a whore, so you're fine with that.
Well, one, I'm super chats because I'm a whore, but two, because you have that goal over there. I didn't put it over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
So,
you could put a goal up for yourself. So
well, I mean, if I put up a goal, it was gonna probably be something like, "Hey, if I
Mhm.
get 5 super chats, I'm gonna call you a fig."
Well, you could do that for free.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and you just
or
did.
maybe I'll just take my shirt off.
See, you could do one not to take your shirt off. Anyway, Blockade Battlefront Season 1. Let's see. I think I first saw this in, I want to say 2019 when Season 2 was coming out, because it was one of those things like, oh, here's Season 2 of this. And I said, oh, maybe I should check out Season 1 if I'm going to watch this. And I did. And this show to me is a roaring good time. It starts at breakneck speed and doesn't really stop, and just boom is
It just throws you in there.
crazy. It throws you in there, and it does a good job of building the lore as it goes
Mhm.
along. And really quick, no Kaylee Scope, I do not have any GTA games. I haven't played a GTA game since Vice City. That's the last time I played a
It's because he's
GTA game.
old.
No, it's because I got bored and I'm not really into it. So all right. So Dermy, you said this is like the second time you watched all the way through?
Yeah, this is the second time I watched it. And, I'll be honest, like, you said 2019, I'm pretty sure I started watching I sat down and started watching this, I wanna say 2021, maybe 2022. It was
Well,
before the channel.
I saw the first season whenever season 2 came out. It was either 2019 or
Mhm,
2020. I don't remember. It was before I started my channel because my desk
mhm.
was over there on the other side of the room.
It was
And
before I started my channel because I did not have this.
yeah.
I was on an Xbox watching Crunchyroll on a dinky TV.
Nah.
And because I had a Crunchyroll account and I was building stuff up because of my day job and stuff. No, actually, I think I was on my good TV at that time. But anyways, I was just sitting back watching anime one week and got done with one show. Was like, is there something I could just throw on that's fast that I could have in the background? And I saw it, turned it on, and then it wasn't on in the background. I was watching, just
Mhm.
I could not move.
It grabs you immediately. And
Mhm.
what it is basically, for those who are not aware, what happens at unknown date in normal world, suddenly there was a supernatural explosion that nobody knows the source of. Nobody knows how and not even the bad guys know why it happened. It was in a supernatural explosion that merged New York City, the island of Manhattan, and all the boroughs surrounding it,
Mhm.
into a merged dimension with basically hell. Essentially, it's connection to another hell dimension where demons and monsters and all kinds of shit that had basically sparsely integrated into our world, but in little bits. No, but here, boom, it's a centralized thing, and it's surrounded by an impenetrable mushroom cloud and giant tentacles. That so essentially nothing could. I think things can get in on the ground, but nothing can fly in because the tentacles
I
usually slap it down.
I need to go in. I need to look at the lore again. I think people are able to fly. Yeah, fly. People can fly in now
Well, they
because
can't fly
the
into the city. They have to land outside and go in because remember, when Zap's
the
master is
lucky.
fighting, no, Zap's master. When Zap's master is fight when they set when he him and the second disciple fish dude cut that one vampire in half and he teleports in, the fish dude is flying in on the other half of the plane and it tries to go straight through the mushroom cloud of the tentacles and the tentacles destroy it. I think Lucky Abrahams landed outside on an airport outside the city in the joke because you have to be able to drive in because people come and go from inside and outside the
Mhm.
city normally.
And our
But
the
yeah,
main
yeah,
character,
Leonardo,
Leonardo,
he's
he's
not a
not
native. Yeah,
from there, so
he's
he's
like
there
from
in this.
Kansas or some shit like that, like you. It's
Yeah,
like it's like out there in
like
the regular world.
Yeah, he's from out there in the regular world. People, the area is now like a tourist site, so people come by all the
Mhm.
time. So yeah, there's a way to get in. It's just,
Yeah.
I
You
guess you
can't
might be right. There is no way to fly in.
you cannot fly in because it says impenetrable Martian cloud, and the tentacles basically slap shit down. It rips it apart. But you can't get in. You just can't fly in directly. And there are hub points. Like if you take the demonic subway at some point, you get to this Yggdrasil kind of hub thing where you look into the abyss, and they build the lore up nicely as you go along.
Oh, that world is fantastic, and it's so
Fascinating.
rich. And on top of that, like, do you think, oh my god, hell just broke open? And instead of being immediately terrified of everything, the world just seems fun and
They
like
have to
people.
accept it. I mean,
Yeah, they just have to accept it, and like
like,
people and monsters and demons live together. I'm
New
not gonna
York
say
City
in
is
peace,
gone.
but
New York City is gone. It is now Salem's Lot. You must
yeah,
accept it. Is the
I'm
way.
not gonna say that it's peace that they live in
Oh
because
no.
there's chaotic shit all over the
They,
place.
it's corrupt as hell too. You've
Yeah,
got demonic mafia running shit on one end. You have a corrupt city bureaucracy that does whatever the fuck it wants. They see because somehow there is some sort of economy because there are still goods and services coming in because there's like a single fast food chain that remained with the burgers and the burger joint. Although I did see a temporary like a mini Kentucky Fried Chicken stand at one point, but
there is a pizza joint, but that might just be a local pizza joint.
I think it's local.
Okay.
The one that Leonardo is a delivery
Mhm.
guy for like a minute while Zap makes his life miserable. I love that scene. I love that scene where it's just Zap
It's
terrorizing.
Zap taking it's Zap taking care of him
I
and
know, but
watching
he's
over him.
terrorizing him at the same
Yeah,
time, and it's glorious.
because it's
Listen,
Zap being
I
Zap.
love Zap. I love Zap. He is just a son of a bitch. He's a badass. He's a horrible degenerate in multiple ways, but he's awesome because one of
Mhm.
my favorite moments is I think it's episode 4, 3 or 4, where you start off, you get a day in the life of Zap essentially. Wake up hungover after a night of sex and drinking. Go out, find food, harass Leo, gamble, lose your money, gamble some more, uh, steal money from people who try to steal money from you, go gamble, get drunk, have more sex, wake up next morning, repeat. So
Yeah,
I love it. I love
listen, Zap's the guy who on the Angel Dust episode
it.
specifically says, "Yeah, I got jumped by some guy who was trying to stab me, and I just cut his head off."
I love it. I love it. And I love it how when the arena episode, the Fight Club episode, he's like, I'm in trouble. You start to thinking, wait a minute, wait a minute. Zap's not gonna get in a position where he's gonna have almost a dozen pointed objects like ready to kill him. He's not getting that. And then it cuts away. Yeah, I'm setting them up because I owe a debt to you.
Mhm.
And then you get Fight Club, which was good. And then the reveal that's essentially a fun episode right up until the moment where Klaus demolishes the demon's head and reveals that a freaking blood breed, a vampire, was using it for a meat suit. And then the vampire just goes boop and flattens Klaus and leaves. Like, I had my fun. I'm not gonna kill you. Ah, it's good. It's great because our heroes, the Libra, are all badasses. And what's interesting in this one is you get a taste of all their stuff. You get more of their abilities in season 2 and more of their personal shit they get into in season 2. But in this one, you just get a broad overview, but you still see how powerful Libra is. But a freaking blood breed, a vampire, especially an elder type one. Now we're not talking the leadership, elder one, just can flatten them. There's
Mhm.
no, they don't know what to do. They get destroyed, and it's cool because it shows
Mhm.
you that there is what's the word I want? There are stakes. There's stakes and tension, which is really important in the final couple episodes where you're dealing with, even though it's the what is it, the king of despair. The king of despair is possessing Black or William. Um and Klaus has to fight him one on one, and he's going all out, but he still can't beat him, even though it's not a blood breed in its actual form. It's
Mhm.
possessing him. So I love it when the villains are super overpowered and our heroes are at a disadvantage. You wonder how you going to win this because it makes the win so much better.
And for those of you wondering, Klaus, who is the leader, he's a fucking badass in his own right, can take
Mhm.
on a bunch of shit, can sit down going up against the goddamn demon mafia boss in a weird
In super chess, we'll just call it
supernatural
super
super
chess.
chess that the longer you're sitting there playing, the harder it gets. And a guy who couldn't make 10 hours, I think it was, right?
It was
10 hours.
It was 9 hours and 58 minutes because we
Yeah,
make a
he
note
it
of it.
was yeah.
The Soviet or ex-Soviet uh, chess king, the super
Yeah.
chess guy, he couldn't hack it for 2 more minutes.
He couldn't hack it for 9 hours and well, for 10 hours, he was 2 minutes short.
Mhm.
Klaus goes in and does it for 99 hours.
99
He's still
hours.
wiped out, but he doesn't look anywhere near like the other guy. Klaus is a
Yeah.
behemoth
Well, think about
and
Klaus is
awesome.
he is human, but he's some sort of hybrid. They never really go into it, not even in season
Mhm.
2, because he's got fangs and he's built like a bus, built like a freaking giant Mack truck bus. And it's interesting because everybody who's part of Libra is essentially human, who is taught some form of blood art, whether
Or
it's
they
freeze or electricity or blood manipulation.
or
Like
they have
Zap.
some sort of supernatural ability to
Mhm.
benefit them. For example,
Yeah,
the female werewolf, who's not
yeah.
really a werewolf, she's just
They
part of a
they're called werewolves because
yeah,
yeah, what Chain could do,
they can
and
phase
listen,
shift or something.
Chain can like stand on my head however long she wants. She can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um what Chain can do is she phases, but she also can shrink herself to a molecular level. There's a whole episode in season 2 about
That's damn
her,
good episode.
and it's also a funny episode because you get a look at her apartment and she's a trash hoarder. And and she's like, I don't want you to come in my apartment. And we're probably I very much, even though I like the show, we're probably never gonna do season 2 because there's not enough to really doing that because they're so
Season
individual.
2 is just
It's
it
individual episodes. It's no
yeah.
story to it really. Not
Mhm.
much. There is, but it's not as big as the first season. But in season 2, you meet other werewolves and they go on a mission, and she goes so deep into the molecular world at the phasing out that she almost loses herself completely. And they learn the only way to pull her back is to have her react to something that's important to her. And what's important is having nobody see what a dumpster her apartment is. So at the end, like I think it's the Frost dude, I forget his name, the ice dude brings Leonardo to her apartment, and they open the door. They're like, "Oh my god!" And then suddenly there she is. She's like, "Get out!"
No,
It
it
brought her
wasn't
back.
it was the Frost dude does get taken to her apartment, but he's taken by the
Mhm.
leader of the werewolves because they're
Oh,
the
really?
only people
Okay.
that know about yeah, they're the only people
Okay.
that know if you start forgetting who this person is, because you can outright forget them altogether. Because
Mhm.
Leo was busy with some
Yeah, okay. See,
demon person.
like I said, this is like the third time I've watched it all the way through, but I didn't go forward to watch season 2 when I finished season 1
Mhm.
because I wanted to watch My Hero Academia season 7. That's why
And
I hadn't
season 2
seen.
again, season 2 is there's a
Yeah,
story, but it's like maybe 3, 4 episodes of a story. I never
yeah.
even finished it.
Everything else is individual. It's fun,
Mhm.
but it's not
Yeah,
as compelling as season 1.
yeah.
With the whole white and black storyline, William and Mary storyline, which is kind of the driving force between that kind of pushes the entire season
And
along.
it's a tragic story.
Oh, it's tragic. Oh, it's really sad. And it's really an interesting. storytelling tactic to take the entire penultimate episode. Remember, the final finale is 40 minutes long, so it's like a double episode length. But it's very interesting to take the entire penultimate episode to give us William and Mary's backstory, to take a break from everything that's happening, and go, okay, well, no, here's where they came from. Here is Mary's story. Here's William's story, and to get you connected, to make the tragedy of their life and everything even more compelling in those final moments, where Mary willingly becomes a new barrier to hold literally the city together. Now she still exists, but she exists as energy, because there is a moment in season 2 where Leonardo sees her for like a blip for a second or something. So she's there, but she's a different type of existence now. She's not even spirit form. She's not human. She exists as one of the seals holding the city together from collapsing,
And the
from the second
blue-eyed
great
guy
collapse.
got really blue-balled.
That's her. It's still her brother's body, dude. Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
Well, no, it was Leo.
Oh, Leo got blue balled. You said,
yeah, because
You
Leo
didn't-
has blue eyes.
oh God. All right, take us down another road here.
Okay, why don't we actually tell people what the general story and the general gist of this is, as we keep tangenting?
Well, they like it. All right, so essentially what you have here is we started to, and then we went down a tangent. What happens is, so 3 years prior to the current story, Salem's Lot became what it is, and the world kind of accepts it, and it's this hub of activity and all this kind of stuff going on. And in the moment, Klaus put together Libra, which isn't just our team, it's actually a very large organization. Because at one point, when Leo is describing the first time he saw the King of Despair in the subway, everybody stopped short. And that shows that the entire bar there were all Libra. To listen to him say, wait, you saw a vampire. You saw an elder vampire hanging around. And that's the instruction of Lucky. Anyway, so what happened is this. So Leonardo Watch, who is our protagonist, he has come to the city seeking answers to deal with his own tragedy that happened, where he and his family, out of his parents' desperation for a miracle to heal his crippled sister, were visiting the city just outside the mushroom cloud, and he was taking a picture of his sister, and then suddenly this demonic spirit appeared and offered he and his sister an ultimatum. One of you is going to get a gift, and the other one's going to have to sacrifice for the other to get this gift. And Leo's whole thing is that he froze. He considered himself a coward. He considered himself not man when he couldn't do anything, while his sister, Michaela, said, I'll sacrifice whatever you need so that my brother comes out of this clean. And what ended up happening is the demon, basically, I'll say, when I say gifted, was it gifted? Is that what he put it?
I would say gifted Leo the
Yeah.
all-seeing eye of the gods, and then he also ended up giving the sister something, but I don't remember.
She's
what
got her. What she has is a little different. That gets revealed when she comes to visit in season 2. During, I think it's after the hospital arc in season 2, when she comes to visit, because she's got starry eyes. She's not just blind; she's got starry eyes. It's something going on. I don't remember what anymore. But the all-seeing eyes of the gods. So basically, Leo's eyes are replaced by these essentially blue jewels, and to quote Thundercats, he has sight beyond sight. He can see what others cannot see, and it's
he can
very
do
cool.
crazy shit with those eyes too.
He figures it out. Yeah, he Leo is not he's not as vulnerable as one would think. He has the eyes give him abilities. He can do shit. But the all-seeing eyes are especially important because we learn about halfway through that he is able to see what the true name is of anything, especially a vampire. And that's part of the cool lore that they do introduce for supernatural stuff into this, is that I always like in supernatural type stuff, especially like with demon summoning and stuff like that. If you know something's true name, you have power over it. And I like that they introduced that the only way to beat an elder vampire is to seal it using its true name, because you can't kill them because their regenerative powers are way too much. So I think
Mhm.
that's really cool. They introduced that type of shit. So anyway, he arrives in the city. He gets accidentally caught up in Libra's activities thanks to Zap being an idiot. And then he joins Libra because he's one of use to them, but also they like him. He's not he's a hero in the making. And Klaus instantly takes a liking to him and decides to take him under his wing. And then the adventure begins, which essentially trying to stop the blood breed, the vampires, from basically destroying the world. Or in this case,
Yeah,
one of them from
because
destroying the city. Yeah.
one of them from destroying the city, but there was an episode when they first introduced the blood breed, which is the vampires. Uh, they go down to look into the abyss, and
Mhm.
Leo sees that there's hundreds of thousands of
And
them just under there.
that's the shock, because at that point they thought there were only 13 kings, 13 overlords. No, there's a bunch of them down there, and they're just waiting.
And then that's also the same time when you get to see what one of those fuckers can do. Just
Yeah.
one of those things. They can tear through an entire team.
Yeah. That's when Zap's mentor, his teacher, who I love. I love that weird little dude. That weird little dude is insanely awesome. The what was he called? The Blood God. I think they call him the Blood God. That's what they called him.
I don't remember.
The creator of the blood fire technique
Yeah.
is what he is. But I think they call him the Blood Warrior God or some shit like that. That dude is so cool. That dude can take on a vampire one-on-one. He can. And when everybody else shows up, I love it how he just starts insulting everybody. You're all terrible. You all suck. You're all insects. You're vomit. You suck. And he wants to take Zap back for more training. And it's basically a sort of it's essentially kind of like what Garp did with Luffy. It's horrible training that isn't really good for your health. It can nearly
Yeah.
kill you. And I love it how he traps Zap to fight this tiny little cocoon part of the vampire. And Zap's trying to figure it out. And part of the tie-in of that episode was Zap has the hots for a friend of Chains. And the chick, it wants nothing to do with him. And I love this. He's trapped in the bubble. That this thing is going to murder him, but unless he can kill all 6 eyes at once on the cocoon. And he's trying to do it. And then at one point, Shane just goes, "Yeah, hi, so and so. Oh, you're ready for it? Oh, you're hot and sweaty and ready and willing." And then you could have shot. And Zap has like a massive boner. He's got a massive boner. And it motivates him to kill Odyssey. And mind you, at this moment, he's severely overweight from having overeaten fried chicken and fast food for a week and trying to get her number. And after he beats it, you have a silhouette of just Zap fat. And he's barely climbing up over the rubble to take the phone. He's like, "Hey, baby." And it goes, "The time will be 3:00 at the tone." "Oh, you want to talk? You want to talk time? All right." I love it. It's so funny. I just can't get over that. The boner, just like, boop, it was right there. Oh, Zap's great. Zap is
Zap
great.
it. They're all great. Even
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah.
But Klaus is my favorite. Because he's
Klaus
just
is great.
Klaus.
Klaus,
Klaus is a badass, and at the same time, all he cares about
he's
is
a
playing that
gentleman.
chess game.
He's a gentleman.
He's a gentleman, he's a badass, and he's pretty simple, actually.
Yes.
He's complex and simple at the same time. He really just loves playing that game.
He likes chess. He likes regular chess, and he wants to always. Thing what's great about Klaus is that his simplicity is simply being honorable and a gentleman, and playing it straight. There's no guile to Klaus, and it's trust. I mean, during the finale, where he goes by himself to face the King of Despair, he knows that Leo's going to be on the way, and he trusts him. And it was back to his motivational speech: just be the man you are. We didn't bring you into Libra just because we needed to. We brought you in because there's a hero inside of you, and you're going to do it. You're going to find your way out of this. You're going to find your way through your problems. You're going to find your answers by simply being true to yourself.
Mhm.
And that is why, and that's important, because Leo could have helped Klaus seal the King of Despair, but that would have killed William. But because Leo knows that William's death would hurt Mary, he goes that extra distance to do the right thing and save her, and also tragically bring her around so she can get her closure. It's good stuff. And it's good writing. There's good writing in this show. It's a good blend of the serious and the comedy, which is very hard sometimes. You'd be surprised how often it is hard to blend the comedy and the serious writing of something as deadly as, wow, okay, we're talking about near world destruction here. We're talking about
Mhm.
overpowered monsters. We're talking about people who have some people who have essentially no right to survive something like this. But because they've got their bonds, they find a way, even if they're yelling curse at each other all the time. And
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. All right, go ahead.
I don't know
I
what
thought
to
you had
do right
something.
now.
I
My
thought
brain.
you had some.
No,
I
no,
thought you had something.
my
Sorry,
brain's all fuzzy right now.
it's all right. All right, so so in this, so let's jump back to what we're talking about, though, the balance of comedy and serious, and essentially lightheartedness and tragedy.
Mhm.
What how do you What do you think they how do you think they've so I don't want to say perfectly, but very near perfectly balanced it? How do you think they accomplished that without losing either side?
Well, obviously, skilled writers, something that we're
Okay.
lacking in nowadays.
Yeah.
And I would have to say another thing is I'm trying to think of my words here because
Mhm.
they do this in such a way that is very unique that
Okay.
I
Let me give you
I wonder if
let me give you a good
I'm
example.
trying. Yeah.
Let me give you one of the standalone episodes as an example.
Mhm.
Mushroom Kid.
Mhm.
Nedge. Hamburger loving Nedge. His species exudes a forget me not dust when they get enough damage, and it's like a protection mechanism. And we learn throughout that he knows he has a mother that gave birth to him, but he knows she will never remember him, because when she gave birth to him, the dust happened. Essentially, they don't quite come out and say it, but you can put the two and two together by the end of the episode.
Mhm.
So he has a mother out there who doesn't even know he exists because of their built-in biology of their species. And that's tragedy. But at the same time, you've got the comedy alongside, leading up to that, of the friendship between Leo and Nedge eating the burgers. I mean, slowly, eventually eating the burgers the same way. And it's comedy lined up with that. And it culminates with Nedge not giving up his own safety when Leo's in trouble, or he
Mhm.
sacrifices everything, his memories, everything of weeks at that point, in order to save Leo, and it erases their friendship completely. Yet they somehow get friends again. So that encapsulates, I think, in a more smaller way, how they balance it. So, how do you think they managed to do something like that with that episode?
The the easiest way to say it is gonna have to be just good writing. Like you
Hmm.
know how to do this. Hey, Neji's this goofy little character,
Hmm.
little fat. We're gonna make him do goofy little things here or there,
Hmm.
and all
This
at the
physical
same time,
comedy. Yeah.
yeah, physical comedy, stuff like that. And then at the same time, we're gonna tell you, because they do a really good job of just telling you names or
Hmm.
giving you little stories here or there, little tidbits of things. And we're gonna tell you the story about this kid that doesn't doesn't know his mom.
Mhm.
because his mom doesn't know him. And you're gonna grow attached to him, you're gonna love him, he's gonna be this goofy little guy, and then at the very end, because of his friendship with Leo, he's gonna sacrifice all of that stuff because he cares about Leo,
Mhm.
and
And
you have to do it all over again.
I don't know if you noticed it, but you spot him in the very beginning of episode 1 in a crowd.
Mhm.
He walks right by. So they seated him in there early on. And what I love about that in terms of it's a good comedy moment that bound it, that one last comedy moment to balance the bittersweetness that they have to start their friendship over again. When he first meets Leo, he's Mr. Not Give Me a Burger, Leo, because Leo wouldn't give him the burger right away. But then because Leo doesn't remember it, yet has that feeling of knowing Nedge, like, oh, wait, I think this guy and I could be friends. He gives him a burger first time out that time around. And Nedge calls him, thank you, give me a burger, Leo.
Mhm.
It's bittersweet comedy. And it's just, he's like, oh, I mean, they'll be friends again. And they come back,
Well,
and Nedge comes back in season 2. There's a moment where they're together again in
mhm.
season 2. So
In
it
Shay's episode.
works. Yeah. Oh, it is? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Shay's episode, 'cause, she's going around helping people and then goes off on that stuff. Uh, I don't they just found that perfect combination that so many people do try to get, but it's
Mhm.
to take this in a way like Avengers, Marvel movies used to be able to know that perfect balance of
Well,
here's some tragedy, and then we're gonna have a good little bit of levity here or there to maybe
well,
lighten the mood a little bit or something like that. It's good writing is what they
mhm.
have.
I mean, well, that's specifically um because of Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
That's specifically because only Joss Whedon can really do Joss Whedon humor where you can blend humor and dark shit.
I would
And
say
everybody else, no,
I
I
would
mean
also
in that sense.
yeah.
No, and because he started that with Buffy and Angel and all that stuff,
Mhm.
everybody else tried to mimic it, but they can't quite do it. I mean, I recently
I'd say the
watched
only other person that could probably do it is, why am I blanking on his name? He's in charge of DC now.
oh, James Gunn.
Yeah. James Gunn has his own version of that, but
Yeah.
that's the James Gunn style,
Yeah. I mean,
and he utilizes wacky.
I recently rewatched Serenity for the first time in a
Mhm.
long time. I recently rewatched it first time in a while. And yeah, damn, Joss Whedon knows how to do it because there's moments where they're talking some dark shit, but then there'll just be a nice little line. Like at the end of the movie when they're trapped and the Reavers are gonna overrun them, and Chloe goes, uh, you're talking like any of us are gonna live through this. And Jane goes, well, I might. I mean, it works. It
Yeah,
works.
and
Yeah.
what that is again, it sounds like a cop out, but it is the answer. It's just good writing. It's good storytelling. It's the ability to balance these things that are hard to balance.
Yeah.
Humor's
It's
hard
not
to
easy.
balance,
Humor
period.
is hard in the first place. Humor is hard to do in the first place. And when you start off this series with strong humor and then give us a lot of humor up front, but then show us there's some dark shit going on underneath the surface, it kind of cushions it. And I think that's overall for the season how they create the balance. And I think that's one of the reasons this show, the first season at least, is so successful, is because that balance has a charm to it. And it's just great. It's great to see the comedy of Zap overlaid with Leo's personal journey. Just an example up front.
Mhm.
And then or Klaus's resoluteness to do what's right, to fight this fight, combined with his straight man type of humor. So it's fun. And to then have the ultimate tragedy of Will and Mary, where two twins, one got all the power, one got nothing. And Mary was trapped in this feeling of I'm worthless because I don't have power. I mean, that's a standard trope. That's not
Mhm.
anything new. But they make it entertaining because that whole penultimate episode, we get their backstory. You get us, you get us to feel something for Mary and for Will. that you maybe hadn't felt up to that point. Up to that point, you might, because right up to that point, you've seen Mary betray, because that's right after she betrays Leo and puts the glasses on him that link up to the King of Despair, so he can control the eyes and to redo the diagram and start the Great Collapse all over again. And you think, you bitch, you bitch, you've been sidling up to him, you've been leading him on, you were gonna let him touch your boobs and everything, and now you do this. Now you do this, and I don't like you anymore. But then you look at her history, you look at the tragedy, and you learn that their entire life of tragedy, their parents sacrificed themselves to keep everything going. And they, at the same time, she got severely wounded during the collapse. The fact that her heart got destroyed and they turned her into a living barrier to save her. But it was a horrible trade off. And then Will sacrifices himself so that she could stay alive. I mean, it's dark and it's twisted and it's bitter, but suddenly you get it. And you're not saying suddenly you bitch. You're going, oh shit. She's trying to save her brother from this vampire that's possessing him, but she has no way out. But now she also wants to save Leo, who she's developed feelings for. And it's an impossible choice. And then Leo comes through as a hero and goes, I'm going to help you to help your brother, because I know that's what you want to do. And because I know deep down inside, you don't want to do this. And I'm not angry at you.
Because
Go ahead.
and you're right, Leo's a hero, but it goes to something Klaus says in the very first episode to Leo. Because Leo, and that moment of him freezing up and locking up when the god demon thing came up, Leo felt himself as a coward, as ashamed. He hated himself. And Klaus says, "You're not a coward. You came here to find us. You've been through so much shit.
You've been through the shit, dude.
You've been through the shit right off the gate, and you're here.
Yeah.
And all this stuff happened. You haven't fled once." Because Klaus recognizes the hero in him, the courage in him, and that goes into that moment and that decision of him choosing to help out the family is his courage, is him actually being a hero.
And he has to give something up because he wasn't in love yet, but he was falling in love with Mary. He was he was growing more and more attached to her, and she was growing attached to him because she, when they go to see the movie, she's the one that slides over to him to show that she's closing the distance. And so there was a future there, a possible future, but he knew that he had to sacrifice that not only to save Will, but to save the city and to stop the vampires, because likely the Great Collapse would have unleashed all the blood breeds that were sitting there in the abyss. It would have released
the world would be over.
Yeah. And
he saved the world by sacrificing somebody. I do think they loved each other. I think it was probably young love.
It's that beginning type of thing. Yeah, it's that beginning type.
It's the beginning type, and they were probably gonna act. They probably would have been end game type, but it's like you're sacrificing this thing that you really care about for this human being it's this early stages, and you're sacrificing it all to save everybody and to help her family and to give them at least, even though it's this tragic, awful thing, we're going to at least we're going to give you guys at least a somewhat bittersweet ending.
And it is bittersweet, and it sucks, especially because I know you love the outro. I love that outro
with everybody. Oh my God.
In the hats and the dancing, and you know, Mary and Will are included in that. And it's
well, that intro, I think purposefully.
You just
perfectly.
Said it. Oh, perfectly. Okay.
I think it perfectly encapsulates the entire anime in that outro, where it's like, hey, we're gonna have, you know, the classic, you know, here's some ballroom dancing side by side, stuff like that, and then we're gonna have the craziness as well, and it just it encapsulates everybody's personality. It encapsulates all sorts of aspects of people, and I just love it. And it is such a fun time, and it culminates in them just, you know, goofing off and freaking out as they walk around.
Okay. And you know, before we go any farther, And then, yeah, thanks, Curtis.
Well, I mean, you're
I
also gay.
um
Kratos,
anyway.
oh gay.
All right, so we've kind of for only 12 episodes because there's not much to go
It's
on.
not. There's not a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
like the thing about Blockade. There's not a whole lot of episodes.
Hmm.
I couldn't watch it. I was trying to rewatch it all in one day, one night. I got through pretty far. I got pretty fucking
I
far in
mean,
one sitting. There's
it's
not a
like
whole lot. It's
like
like
you could do it in
it's
3.5 hours, 4 hours. I mean,
yeah,
because it's 12 episodes.
it's high octane, fast paced storytelling
Hmm.
that hits you,
Hmm.
and you don't like to have to put down the control, like have to change it or something, or have to say, "Hey, I need to turn it off for a little while, or I need to go do this," because it's so gripping,
And
entertaining.
the episodes weave together nicely. The
Yeah,
there's no down moment of the season.
mhm,
It's
and
it's constantly moving.
there's no. You're right. There's no down moment because even some of the like standalone episodes end up just going, okay, at the end we're gonna build into the overall story, or we're gonna start with the overall story because the
Yeah.
second episode is kind of a standalone episode
Hmm.
in which that's when you have Zaps protecting Leo. And that's a whole crazy episode in and of itself. And at the end, you're like, oh, it's a one and done. No,
Well,
Leo's
I
out of the thing, and that's when White gets introduced.
I think one of the most interesting things to say then is I love the relationships of the characters overall. I mean, Zap and Leo, they're not they're they're not best of friends. They're barely friends, but there's a connection. And by the end of the season, they're always doing shit together. I mean, one of my favorite moments is the one that starts in medias res where they've been trying to get food the whole episode and they're in the diner. They end up back at the original diner and they're all so happy. It's okay, Leo. We're here. We're going to get food. And then, of course, the subplot of that episode where Klaus and everybody have been fighting a bunch of uh, mobsters using Chinese mechs to invade the city. That you don't even ever really see that. That's just kind of going on, but it's the comedy of them as bros screwing with each other, trying to find food, along with Fish Dude. It's but they're together, hang out, and it's fun and it's entertaining. And I like seeing stuff like that. Or whenever Chain decides to land on Zap's head, so he's like, you she bitch, you piece. She calls him various firms, various insults involving shit. I mean, it's hysterical. I love that kind of stuff, and this show
And
excels at it.
oh, right out the gate as well. Like again, I'll go to that first episode. Like everybody's kind of defined in their roles in the first
Mhm.
episode. Like you know
Yeah,
who everybody is right when you meet them.
that is. You see, that's one of the things, and we've talked about this before, and that is why manga and anime always work so well. At least for me, within a couple of episodes, the medium somehow manages to introduce and cement characters instantly,
Mhm.
and you're engaged so quickly, as opposed to a lot of Western bullshit where they fail to do anything to get you to connect to their horrible characters. But anime and manga somehow manage to do it at least 8 times out of 10.
Okay, so episode I want to say it's episode 3. Episode 3 is the Angel Dust episode, which is possibly one of my favorite episodes, mainly
Mhm.
because it centers around Klaus. That and I also really love the hospital episode when they go the spatial hospital or
Oh,
whatever it
that's
is.
season two. That's season two.
No, there's another one. It begins in season 1 that when they go to that special hospital that has the vampire there, that's Klaus's backstory
That
with like
wasn't
the
in
flower
this.
dog creature.
That wasn't in this season. That's season two.
Is that in season 2?
Yeah, that's season two. That's not this season. That's season two. The hospital that gets cut in and out, that doesn't appear till season two. That's not in this season with the frog doctor and the hot doctor chick who got
That
turned
might be
young.
you're right. Never mind,
Yeah,
I'm wrong. But
yeah.
okay,
That's
anyways
that's
though,
season
but
two. Yeah.
that's my favorite episode of season 2 then.
Although the
But well,
hospital arc
arc.
is really good in season two. They're
Yeah.
they're tiny little arcs. That's why it's season two is
Yeah.
just a lot of little pieces. It's not one grand
Yeah.
adventure like
But
this one.
back to like I forgot what my point was. Fuck.
You like Klaus, or you like you
I
were talking
like
about
Klaus a
Klaus.
lot, but
You're talking about Klaus, but it's not applicable to
oh,
this
okay,
season.
okay. Angel Dust.
Angel
KK.
Dust, okay.
And the reason why I was going to Angel
Okay.
Dust is because of KK.
Yeah,
KK
okay.
gets introduced in the Angel Dust episode.
Yeah.
Right when she's introduced, you know who she is.
Mhm.
You know she has a thing for Klaus. You know she smokes. She's a bit of a hothead. You can figure that out
Yeah,
just by who her personality and some of the ways she talks.
but then in season 2, you went out, she's a single mom in season 2.
Mhm.
And she's got more going on. And there's more to her. So and she's a great character though. And I love a good sniper. I always love a good sniper.
Mhm.
Love a good sniper. All right. So, do you have anything else you want to add to this? Because I feel pretty good about closing it up. We've been going at it for about 45 minutes.
We can start closing it up.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is if you ever know somebody named Lucky or nicknamed Lucky, they're not really lucky, and you need to stay away from them.
Lucky Abrams, just the man who knows everything about vampires and was cursed by them, but his luck keeps him so safe, it diverts all the negative energy on everything else. It's fun. I love it.
If you
So I always will recommend this. Both seasons. I recommend both seasons. It's a lot of fun. It's entertaining. It's an easy watch. It's not gonna bog you down. You can kind of breeze through it, have a good time, and it's always rewatchable. Is the thing. This is a series that's easily rewatchable.
I've always just said stick with season 1, mainly because season 2, it's so many little parts.
But I like the
There's
character
some
work
good
in season 2.
there-
I like the
there's
character
some
work.
really good character work, but it's so many little parts that you don't need it.
Yeah. You don't
It's
need it,
not
but I
required
like it.
watching.
It gives you it keeps you in this world just a little bit longer, is what it is, and that's why I do like season 2. But I'm not. It's not like I'm drawn to keep watching it. Is the thing. I
Mhm.
I didn't need to feel the need to keep going, as with other things recently where we will do a season 1 and then I'll kind of keep going. I wasn't. You're not drawn to it, especially if you've seen it a couple times. But it is fun, and it continues the world building, and it continues the character building because these are all fun characters. None of them are assholes or dicks that it's like, oh fuck this one. No, you enjoy them all. So
Well, I mean, they're assholes and dicks, but they're
you know what I
multiple
mean. You know,
assholes
it's
and
not. It's
dicks.
like, oh
Yeah.
man, fuck this character. I don't want to see this asshole. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
it's not
enjoy them
like
all.
Usopp to some people.
Anyway, so there you go, guys.
And actually,
Okay.
to your point, it's not. I would say it's like the difference between Fire Force and this. So, like Fire Force, once you get done with Fire Force, you're ready for that next season.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to go.
Season
You want to
3,
keep going.
season 3 next year.
Yep.
I think that's going to be the conclusion.
I've been
too.
waiting for that shit.
I think that's the conclusion too. I think they're gonna. Oh yeah. When we did season 1 last year, I rewatched season 2 right away. I mean, that's one of those ones I gotta keep going. I'm hyped for season 3. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. But then you get to something like this. You get season 1 done, and it's like, well, there's a season 2. I'll check it out. Oh, it's just supplemental, really.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll
But
enjoy
it's
it. But
fun.
I have no like. It's it's fun.
Yeah.
It's that fun, enjoyable kind of second season, but you don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there it is. Go watch it, guys. You'll have a good time. Okay.
Actually, you guys, I think almost everybody would sit down and watch it. It has like, I would say this is gonna sound a little blasphemous, but just follow my logic here. It has Full Metal Alchemist level storytelling, I think, mixed in with comedy and humor and a fast-paced notion.
I think a better word would be potential.
Potential?
Potential. Full Metal Alchemist potential is maybe a better way to put
potential.
that. Better put that.
I think that's a good. Actually, that's probably a better word than level. I would say it's up there, but it's so fast and quick that it's like it makes its mark.
Yeah,
it knows what it needs to do.
Oh yeah, the show is. It also works because it's a show that knows exactly what it is. It doesn't try to be more than supernatural comedy on cocaine with little bit of tragedy in there and really good action. The action is fun. And it's your classic shonen shit where everybody's shouting out their attack names and this and that, and I love that stuff. I never get.
You
over
can
it.
say Zap's attack names. You can say some of the other people's attack names. Good luck saying Klaus's attack names. They're all in German.
Yeah.
And we're talking thick German.
Okay, so let's move on. Essentially, we've got 2 articles that sort of fall into the same category of outside assholes trying to influence or repurpose Japanese, we'll just say pop culture. Excuse me. But before that, I want to remind everybody on my end of the stream, if we get 5 super chats tonight, guys, Jeremy and I will begin putting together a fan choice episode. We will come up with a structure for it, similar to what Jed and I did on Saturday Night Drive-In, where you guys will get to choose what we go over for a month. That we'll put that together. But we got to get 5 super chats on my side. We got to get that. That's the only way it's going to happen now. Or, if it don't happen now, we'll try again next month. Either way. But there would be restrictions. I would say that there would be restrictions because Jeremy and I do have plans for several important series, but we're going to do them in good time. So there would be restrictions, certain series. Like I would say, sorry guys, you can't put Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood on there because we have a whole thing set up where we're going to devote literally a quarter of a year to it by making Shock walk through it basically in thirds. I think is maybe thirds or quarters.
I would do quarters because it's 4 seasons, right?
There's 64 episodes.
I think it's 4 seasons, so we would do one season.
I think there are 5
4 seasons.
There's 5. Opening 1, opening 2, opening 3. There are 5 different openings. Depends. It depends because at 63 or 64 episodes, it's not.
We're gonna do a season. I was thinking of doing a season.
I would do arcs, like or depending. Anyway, we would have to work it out. It would take us several months to get through it. So that would be one. That would be like one of the restriction shows. That also would also say no, you can't do like. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But you understand what we're saying. There would be restrictions, but that would only be like a small percentage of what is then fair game. So 5 super chats on my side tonight before the show's over, and we will start to put that together for you guys. Otherwise, we will kick the can down the road. All right, so first article that I have, I've been sitting on this one for, it looks like 3 weeks now. I've been sitting on this one, waiting to talk about. I resisted making a video. I resisted bringing it up on Ballbusters. And I resisted bringing it up on Metal Mondays because it's more a topic for this show. Western activists excited over the idea that Netflix's Ranma half reboot. First of all, it's not Netflix. It's the same fucking idiots that go, oh, God, it's a Crunchyroll anime. They're just the distributor. They're the localizer. They're not the goddamn... Netflix didn't make Ranma half.
No, okay? They didn't.
No, they didn't. In fact, I always want to make sure I say her name correctly. The artist. Where is it? Yeah, Rumiko Takahashi. Derby, you know who Rumiko Takahashi is, correct?
The maker of Ranma 1/2, and
yes.
she did. She also did.
Well, she's the grandma of modern day manga and anime. She's one of the foundational mangaka.
I know she's done. She's done something that I really love.
Okay, she did Ranma.
Yeah, Ranma.
She did Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, that's what I was thinking.
Did Inuyasha. She also did I always forget how to pronounce it because they also just did a remake of it too. Shit. Well, they had it right here. Well, she also did Detective Conan. She also did shit. Fuck. The one with Lum. The one with Lum. What the hell is Yatsura?
Is it that anime thing that had like the first waifu?
Yeah, Lum. 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 She was the first waifu where she comes to Earth to play a game of tag and the dude beats her. Yeah, it begins with a Y. It's I never pronounce it correctly, which is why I'm not trying to butcher it right now. But that's who she is. She is one of the greatest mangaka of all time. She has got so many classics out there that she's at the top. I mean, she's up there with Akira Toriyama. That's her level. That's how much of an influence she's had on the industry. When she created Ranma half, it was not as a trans allegory.
No.
To the surprise of no one, come on, seriously, Bounding, get it fucking right. It's not a Netflix adaptation. The classic gender-swapping comedy series Ranma Half has revealed that the insane deaths, the Western transgender activist movement's more diehard acolytes, as less than 24 hours after it hit the streaming platform, said individuals were quick to express their hopes that the anime would lead more people to realize that they themselves are transgender. Jeremy, do you know the background of Ranma and what his tragedy is?
I've never seen Rama 1/2, but Silver's he loves it. It's one of his go-tos. My understanding is he fell into a hot spring, him and something else.
His
I
dad.
think it was his dog.
Him and his dad are trained. They go to the mountains, and all the mountains are filled with these cursed springs. And if you fall into it, you get cursed with whatever first drowned in that spring. And
he's cursed to become a girl.
Every time he gets hit with, I think it's cold water. Every time he gets hit with cold water, he turns into a girl. And every time his dad gets hit with cold water, he turns into a giant panda.
Yes.
And Ranma literally spends 99% of his time trying to not get wet with cold water because he doesn't like being a girl. He wants to try and undo the curse. But freaking weirdos want to come out and say that, oh my God, it's this crack the egg thing. I'll read this part here. As such, when Mappa's anime remake hit Netflix, they got it right there. On October 5th, transgender activists showed out in full force to share their excitement of the idea that the series would crack the egg for a new generation of trannies. For those unaware, I didn't know what this was, so I'm going to read what this is because I didn't know what this was either. Listen, despite all our gaiety and retardation, I didn't know what crack the egg was. All right, very simple. For those unaware of just what the phrase crack the egg is referring to, eggs are what transgender activists call individuals, usually those who don't fit into gender types, such as tomboys or feminine men. I fucking hate that. A tomboy is not a girl who wants to be a boy. It's just a girl who wants to run with the boys. They're still girls. They are still girls. They still like boys. They're not girls who want to be boys. I freaking hate that association. If Gal was here, she'd throw a tantrum over that term because we know she hates that term. Who they believe are either unaware or in denial of their Jeremy, are you in denial of your trans status?
Well, I like titties. And I like junk. But I'm not trans, so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm a guy. Okay. Because if I was a girl, I'd be one ugly-ass girl. I'd have to be a Muslim. Well, I'd have to have a hijab on the whole time.
You do have bigger tits than some girls. So
yeah, but I'd have to be a Muslim because I'd have to wear a hijab.
Go full burqa. Go full burqa.
Yeah, full burqa.
Go full.
I wouldn't be allowed to show my face.
Yeah,
it'd be like, no, if I go to the Middle East, they'll put a burqa on me because it's like we don't want to see you.
Yeah. In light of this framing, some activists believe it is their duty to crack these eggs, usually by way of exposing an individual to transgender-related media or just vehemently insisting that they are until they agree. So, Jeremy, what does that sound like to you? Indoctrination? Forced indoctrination?
Yeah, indoctrination to a cult that is fucking
good way to put
insane.
Good way to put it. What else do we have to say here? On Twitter, at Aria of Effect tweeted the following series premiere, and with that, the deafening sound of thousands of eggs cracking simultaneously could be heard throughout the world. No. Well, all right. Let me, Jeremy, what is it with these people that feel the need to literally contaminate and pervert, and take that both ways, as in changing it and also in the degenerate definition, pervert everything to suit their whatever the hell you want to call it. I almost said a really bad word. So, I mean, why do they always have to do this?
Because they're narcissists. It's plain and simple. They are narcissistical freaks that they must see themselves in every little thing. They
Mhm.
must insert themselves, and the world must be built around them and represent them. This is what identity politics does,
Mhm. Yeah.
wokeness does, all this stuff does, and it's. uh, I know it's a video game, but it's the exact fucking reason in Dragon Age you got top scars. You don't need it there, but they have to see themselves there. They have to be represented there. It's why in Dungeons and Dragons you got wheelchair bound heroes.
Oh god.
Because
Ugh.
you must be represented at all times, and if something does not represent you, it's either bad or you must force it to represent you.
Did you see one of when that was spiking again a few weeks ago, warriors in wheelchairs? I saw some retarded fake fan art of that shit. They had a warrior woman in a wheelchair, but her legs were as sculpted as one could get from never skipping a leg day. In fact, maybe doing 2
Yeah,
leg days. That
yeah,
that doesn't that no, does not compute. Does not compute. Ridiculous.
because these people are retarded. They It's main character syndrome to the nth degree,
It's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it.
where not only do they want to be represented the entire time, they
Mhm.
want every little bit of their life put into the story and have it built around them. They also want to be the greatest, bestest thing ever. So that means, to
They
your
wanna be the
point,
hero. They wanna be the
they want to
hero.
be the hero and they want to have those sculpted legs. They want to have that sculpted body.
Mhm.
They want to be, yeah, you're all going to bow down to me, even though I'm strapped in a wheelchair.
Mhm.
They think everything revolves around them. That's the narcissistical tendencies to the nth degree.
Mhm.
And if
So,
you're not on your knees licking their pseudo vagina, you're bad.
yeah, and they always have to hijack something that's essentially traditional or beloved or existed long before their insanity was born.
Mhm.
Because Ranma Half remake, it's essentially the same thing, from what I understand. It's not a new story. It's a literal. It's a remake. It's not a reboot. It's just a remake, and with modern day animation and stuff like that. That means it's exactly Rumiko's original story, which was not intended to be. It's simply comedy and action and relationships. So
Mhm.
that's what it's about. It's not about cracking the egg. So they have to hijack this stuff. They have to. Here's the thing too. Here's how you touched on it. It's main character syndrome and it's warping stuff. And it also leads to the point of they always have to hijack something because every time they try to make something, the rare times that you try to make something and have it be a vehicle for their agenda or their original stuff, nobody gives a shit about it. Nobody wants it. Nobody looks at it. Nobody watched it except their
Yep.
extreme minority. That's who
It
looks at it.
next level. No, no. Here's the thing, Adam. Even when it's made for them, and you're right, that extreme minority, they're you're right, it's that extreme minority, but even when it's specifically made for them, nobody watches it. The Acolyte. This is all made for you. You're the majority. You're the people that they are catering to right now. Where the fuck are you? We take a look over at Unknown 9, Awakening. Where
Mhm.
the fuck are you? Fucking
Yeah.
Tales of Kanzaru Zau, the
Yeah,
game
what the
again
Africa
made,
game, the Africa game, yeah.
yeah, the Africa game made specifically for you guys,
Mhm.
designed for you guys, has the African story, everything like that.
Oh,
They had to lay
Acolyte,
people off and
Acolyte,
shutter doors. Acolyte.
Acolyte. They all showed up. Every single one of them. There's only 80,000 of them. Right now, we're not gonna go into it here. I will be going into it. Unfortunately, every time I think I'm done with it, Dragon Age. Uh Roughly last I checked, 70,000 people playing on Steam. Maybe probably a little more playing on PlayStation and Xbox added there, but maybe total. And that's not all of them. That a lot of people you have to tie into it. There are a lot of normies out there who aren't paying attention, who just hear,
Mhm.
"Oh, next thing in this thing that I like, time to get it." There's not a lot of them. And when the people who walk into something expecting it to be what they remember, the franchise remember, the IP they remember. They walk into it and see it's been bastardized, it's been converted. You're going to get a 2.5-minute lecture about pronouns. They're going to walk away. They walk away. They literally walk away. So they have to hijack these things because the things like the list you just went through, and I added a couple on there, when they try to make them, nobody shows up.
Mhm.
Not even the supposed fans, because in the end, these people aren't fans of anything. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they're fans of themselves.
They're fans, and they're fans of their agenda and their ideology. That's what they're fans of.
That there's space for their agenda and ideology. Well,
Mhm.
not their agenda, but for their ideology. You
Mhm.
can make your garbage. Make it, okay?
Yeah.
I have no problem with you guys making your stuff for you. I loved VeggieTales growing up. I loved all that
That's super
Bible Man and
religious,
stuff.
man. That's super
Yeah,
religious.
super
Yeah.
religious. Guess what? The but this goes to the point. VeggieTales and Bible Man realize that more than likely it's only the religious people that are going to be liking this,
Mhm.
and they mainly on VeggieTales because VeggieTales was actually like they knew what they were doing and they had a goal
It's
there.
specifically for kids to reinforce the Bible. I mean, that's
Yes,
simple.
it's they knew their audience, they knew where they were going to be at. That's what they did. They didn't have these grand aspirations of indoctrinating everybody. It was like
Mhm.
Bible for kids.
Yeah.
Simple.
Innocent,
We
not
know
offensive.
innocent. Yeah,
And
simple,
I mean,
innocent,
some
not
would say
offensive. We
indoctrination, but it's the Bible. It's kind of there. It's been there. It's just
yeah, and it's just they also know their audience. Like
yeah,
they would like it if everybody watched it, but they realize it's probably going to be more just religious people that watch this,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
fine. And they're entertaining at the same time,
Mhm.
so they know what they're doing with all that. These people, they think, well, everybody's going to love it. Everybody's going to like this. They don't realize that no,
It's
you need to be targeting your
they're stuck
niche.
in their echo chamber is the thing. They
Yeah.
think their echo chamber is the greater world. They think Twitter or their little section of Twitter is the rest of the world. That's why you go on right now. You would think if you go onto Twitter today, and I was there, unfortunately, because I had a very weird day and I spent a lot of time going in and out of Twitter today. You would think that the Dragon Age Veilguard release was the biggest thing in the world right now,
Mhm.
with the amount, at least on my timeline. You would think it's the
On
biggest
my
thing in the
timeline
world.
too.
Yeah. You would think this is breaking records left and right. But despite the fact that they're throwing out certain numbers here and there, these aren't record breaking numbers. And
These are
these are below
these
average, frankly.
yeah, below average, but they're not awful numbers. I'm more curious again, I'm more curious about the drop off and how it does like
I'm more curious what the units sold are going to be
yeah.
in
Oh,
the
I
end.
don't think it's gonna be that big because the
Listen,
game's
listen.
37,000,000.
They're not going to listen. They're not. And I'm sorry if we're diverting into video games here, guys, but it's
Mhm.
connected in a way. Where I apologize, and I'll try to cut it
It's
short right
it's
now. It's
connected in the way about
yeah,
discussion
yeah.
and ideology that is pervasive in what they have recently infected.
I mean, this is more stuff I'm going to be talking about on Sunday. But Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws, Star Wars. They couldn't get 5 million sold on that thing, and that stupid game wasn't even half as I will say it. Outlaws. That's like the kiddie table compared
Mhm,
to the agenda in Veilguard.
mhm.
Veilguard said, "Here, hold the entire case of beer. I'm going to show you how to really make this shit woke and retarded." And it's going to mean something when this thing doesn't sell 5 million units. Because I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's not like Dragon Age is a massive franchise. It should need it. There's been a lot of focus in our world right now, but it really is a niche franchise.
Mhm.
I mean, the at its peak with Inquisition, it only moved 12.5 million units in its lifetime.
And I don't think Vilgar will ever get there. Like to tell how niche it is. I know I've played not all three. I always wondered, did I play two? I had
Hmm,
to have played two. I don't.
what?
I always try Dragon Age 2. I always try to remember if I
That's
played Dragon
Kirkwall.
Age 2 or
That's
not.
Kirkwall. Kirkwall, your hawk.
I have no
Isabella.
idea. I don't remember.
Isabella by Pirate Queen. What did they do? They destroyed
Listen,
Isabella.
I know I played Dragon Age 1.
They even got the
I
voice actors
think I
back for
played
Isabella.
Dragon Age 2.
Sorry.
I think I played Dragon Age 2. I know I played Dragon Age Inquisition, and here's what I say every single time. I played a bit of them. I don't even remember them.
They're not your thing. Yeah, you've told me that. You didn't really get into them. And see,
Yeah,
I loved them.
They weren't designed for me. They weren't.
Yeah.
And I accepted that.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna pull back from this
to that point of that whole like nicheness. Like that's a thing. They're super niche.
They are niche. They're trying to pretend like they're bigger. Now we're gonna pull back because we're getting into roundtable discussion territory here, and we're gonna get into that more on Sunday with that panel. But pulling it back to what we're talking about, they take these things over because they have no successful way to otherwise push their bullshit because nobody's interested in their actual shit. Nobody is. Shit don't sell. Nobody watches it. I mean, let's be honest. Yaoi and Yuri anime and manga, that's niche. That shit doesn't get pushed out front a lot. I mean,
it doesn't get pushed out front, but the people that like those things,
they're into. Yeah, I mean, listen, the closest thing that they got recently was a few years ago, Yuri on Ice, the two gay dudes ice skating. That was the biggest one. It hasn't been anything since because it doesn't resonate with the public at large. But you know what's great about anime and manga? They know how to live in their sections, in their subgenres.
The Yaoi and Yuri people are targeting the Yaoi and Yuri people.
And you know what? The Yaoi and Yuri people are happy where they are. They have all the smut they want.
Yeah.
And they're perfectly happy.
And the shonen people are happy where they are.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And if you target that audience, there's gonna be overlaps. There's always gonna be an overlap here or there. It's not a problem. Yeah. But they know who the main audience is, and they're gonna target that main audience.
Exactly. And there is no audience for tranny bullshit. There isn't. Because honestly, whenever you get a transgender character, or I won't say transgender because one of the only ones that comes to mind is when One Piece decided to Kamakura Island, Sanji's nightmare, come to life. That's Oda Sensei pointing and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that there's no crack in the egg going on there. That is Oda Sensei pointing and laughing.
He's pointing and laughing, but at the same time, Oda Sensei can't help but make at least good characters out of these people.
It's hysterical. And listen, Eva is a fantastic character. But
I mean, come on, Eva. That is Dr. Frankenfurter right there with a purple fucking wig and a goddamn big ass head.
That's Oda. That's what Oda will copy pop culture shit and slap it in One Piece. He's been doing that for almost 30 years now.
But here's the thing. Like what you just pointed out there, I would actually say is an example of what these people don't want.
They don't want normalization. They don't really want it. They want to be able to play the victim card forever.
No, they want supremacy. They don't want normalization because Eva and all the Kamakura people, I don't really see many people bitching and crying about them.
No.
I don't see many people saying this is pushing a trans ideology. I could probably think of a few people that would potentially say it, and they would get laughed at. Right, and made fun of.
We're going to stay with One Piece and Oda Sensei. Gee, it's an episode of Anime Odyssey. They're talking One Piece. What a fucking surprise. Let's bring back Oda Sensei. You've met her.
God damn it. She thinks she goes around saying she's Oda. Not Oda, Odin.
Well, I see you did that. You broke my train of thought. I was going to say it and you broke my train of thought. I had her name shit.
Yamato.
Thank you. Yamato. Yeah, you've met Yamato at this point in Wano arc. That's a girl. Oda came out and
Very
said,
clearly a girl.
that's a girl. She simply considers herself a boy because she was abused by her father
For not being one.
for not being one. Yet the activists tried to say Yamato was a poster girl, a poster they them for their thing. And they lost their shit constantly because Oda on multiple occasions, even on One Piece merch, it says Yamato's a girl. Oda, right in response to them in the height of it, I was reading the manga actively when it happened. In the middle of it, Oda drops every couple of months. Oda will drop a full page color spread at the start of a chapter. I collect them. I have a whole file of them. They're great for wallpapers on your computer. It was basically the ladies of One Piece, all of them from multiple arcs throughout all of everything. Who do you think is dead center in the middle of that?
Yamato and gorgeous body.
Yamato and her big old titties out there along with
They-
Nami and Robin and Perona and everybody. Vivi was there too. Everybody was there. And so was Yamato. It was the ladies of One Piece. That was Oda saying she's a girl. But they can't handle that. They need to convince themselves that they need to hijack something. The problem is Oda and One Piece didn't bend the knee, unlike everything else. Everybody else bends the freaking knee. But Oda didn't bend the knee, and they can't handle that. Especially, I've gotten blocked when I've thrown out when I find one of these ones when they have their spurs and I troll them and I post, here's the evidence. Oda said not. They block you instantly because they can't handle that. Like, oh no, the creator said it. No. Creator says she's a girl. Weirdos, degenerates.
They will side with their ideology to a point that they will disrespect the creator to try to force their shit in there. Oda gave them what they would want.
He didn't give
Why
it the
don't
way
they
they want
accept it?
because it wasn't the way they wanted.
Exactly. Remember,
Bunch of dudes in dresses with deformed faces and hairy legs.
Remember, Adam, taking this to My Hero Academia, they wanted a gay character. They desired a gay character. I don't know why they didn't just accept the gay character they had with the blatantly gay character, the guy with the belly button ability. You can't tell me that guy ain't gay. But anyway,
yeah, but it doesn't come up. Well,
it doesn't come up.
Listen, I just finished season 7, which I'm all caught up.
I was starting.
Where are you?
I was starting when.
Where are you?
Bakugo was going off on his own. I was starting that.
I mean, Deku.
Deku was going off
season
on his
6. That's season 6.
Yeah, I need to get back.
I see. All right, so I was going to say something, but I realized I might spoil it for you. See, I was waiting till all of season 7 was done, and I just finished a few weeks ago, so I was setting up to watch it. And I just burned through it. Had a great time. Final season next year. The final battles. Oh, left me on right. It ends on a cliffhanger. It's like, oh, we're here. I don't know what happens. Dodging My Hero Academia spoilers. That's an Olympic event. Yeah, that's a professional event. People want to the fucking shills in the stands want to spoil the hell out of that shit. They work so hard. I'm at a point now where I only know one thing, and I knew people were complaining about it, but now that I've seen it happen, I'm wondering, why did you complain? Why did the fake fans and the shills complain about this instant? About somebody coming back to life? The show just showed you how they're going to come back to life. So
I don't know.
You don't know.
Listen,
why do you think I'm being vague? I'm being vague.
Yeah. My Hero, oddly enough, is the one show that I know, like, maybe one thing that's gonna come up, I think, in season 7 or maybe later season. One thing, and I don't even know how the fuck they got to that one thing, and it's just another hero appears.
The one thing I knew that was an arc, it's instantly resolved at the beginning of the season. I knew it was coming. I didn't know who it was who it was, but they resolved it instantly beginning of season 7, and then they're into the basically the final conflict. And all of season 7 is essentially the first half of the final battles, is what it is. And it's glorious. It's glorious.
The only reason I know this thing, the only reason I know this character shows up is because it was cover art for one of the mangas.
What, Star and Stripe?
Yeah, I don't even know their name.
Okay.
I don't know their name. That's how removed it is. All I know is it looks like a female version of All Might.
She was a disciple of All Might. So
I did not know that, but that's
it's instantly revealed. I'm not so much fun. You learn that immediately. It's not some sort of deep lore. It's instant.
Yeah, but go back to what
she's the beginning of season 7, and that's a banger beginning, dude. It is whoa.
But go back to my original point. They wanted a serious gay character in that thing, and they wanted a gay relationship. The activists, they desired it. They wanted it so badly. So the creator came out and gave them exactly what they wanted. The grape guy's gay.
Yet he really isn't.
He's not really gay, but he's not really gay. But
they localized it. They localized him to gay is what they did. They didn't.
No. The creator came out and it was a gag. It was a gag. He did this as a joke on them, making fun.
I remember that. I remember it.
You want a character? Here you go. And they flipped shit because it wasn't.
They lost it.
They wanted.
Yeah, they did lose it.
He was doing it as a joke to make fun of them. I mean, they hated it.
Here's the thing. Here's how you spot one of these fake fans, one of these stans, these not real weebs trying to claim we want this and that. If they really watched My Hero Academia, they would have tried to claim Himiko Toga as a trans, because when she drinks the blood of somebody, she becomes them, male or female. She can become them with their quirk and everything. But if you want to try and pretend that's a trans thing, there it is right there. But they don't, because they don't know the lore. They don't actually watch it. They just want to grab something and do it.
No, they want to rub their minge and beat their schmeat to Himiko. They have a weird fascination with Himiko. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of creepy.
She's creepy. And I just
she's hot creepy, but they take it to an extreme.
I just completed her arc in season 7, and she's still creepy to me. I don't care what the show was trying to do. I still say creepy.
Listen, she's hot creepy, but the stands take it to these freaky activist people take it to a level.
She doesn't do it for me. Like there are plenty other. Listen, all the ladies of My Hero, they're all at various ways packing heat in all good ways. I like the bunny girl. She was great. Now she took some damage. She's got robot. She's got like a gun arm, and so after the damage, and that's not spoilers.
You like muscle mommy?
Not muscle mommy. She is muscle mommy. I don't really like muscle mommy, but she's just fit. She's got the big tits. You know, it works. It works.
I've always been. I can't remember her name, but I have her. The one with the red vest, tits always hanging out, can create stuff.
I never remember her name, but she makes stuff. Yeah, well, she's got the tits out. You know
that's why I like her.
Yeah, well, I like her. Yeah. Hey, listen, Froppy and her tongue, okay?
Froppy doesn't do it for me.
It's just, dude, her tongue, dude. You just can't get that out of my head.
Yeah, everybody keeps telling me that. Well, I think it probably is the same way with Toga. Toga doesn't do it for you. Froppy doesn't do it for me. Well, she's sweet. She's adorable. She doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, we're getting into the degenerate weeb shit. Anime girls, titties. We're going into that. But I mean, point is, just to wrap this up, you would think there are things over there where they've got an easy one that would be obvious for them to latch onto, but they don't. They want to crack the egg. Somebody that's trans. I mean, Toga, with her ability to change, that would be the easy one, but they're so retarded, they don't actually know the freaking show. They don't actually care enough. They'd rather, like you said, they want to get in with it instead of actually.
They want their sexy, attractive ones. That's what it is. Because Bon Clay, again, taking it back to One Piece, Bon Clay,
he's queer.
Fucking fantastic character. He's queer.
Completely queer.
Everybody fucking loves Bon Clay and
well,
I would say I cried. I cried when he died.
Bon Clay's actions at the end of Impel Down, his whole Impel Down arc is fantastic. It's friendship.
and
Loyalty.
you don't want him. Why
Yeah.
not? Why don't
Because
you want him?
because he's ugly. Because he's ugly.
Fuck, I love Blockade.
All right, let's take a
God, I
brief.
can't wait for. Is Blockade doesn't
Yeah.
show up this season?
Blockade is.
Blockade not showing up in the live action yet.
Oh no. Well, he won't show up until season 3 live action.
I'm looking forward to Blockade.
I'm gonna see what they do with him. Be interesting.
I want to know what they do with him because this is gonna be. He's so fun and enjoyable, and I love him. Give me Blockade. God, I'm tearing up right now thinking about Blockade.
Let me
call me a pussy. I don't care.
It's all right. All right. Hang on. I'm going to edit the title real quick because I'm not going to do the summer standouts without Brandon here. It's kind of pointless for me to ramble on about this. If you haven't seen them, you can't say so. Let me just change the title to activists try to claim Ranma and UN attacks Japan over anime. Oop, too many words.
Stop.
Attacks, maybe the wrong word.
Let me know when you do it. That way I can just take it so I can copy paste.
Yeah. I'm doing it. UN goes after anime. There we go. Okay. Okay, it is saved. It is saved. Yeah, so yeah, just for 2 seconds. I will do it for 2 seconds. I won't leave it as the title, but I will just my recommendations for summer season. The ones that were surprise standouts for me. I of course love this. Dermy hasn't caught up yet. Season 3 of Reincarnated as a Slime was fantastic. It wasn't a high octane season. It's mostly a kind of low key setup season. They deal with all the tension early on, and the rest of it's kind of just an event. It's a lot of fun. The characters are great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Other things that came out right here. This one was a surprise to me. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Nice little rom-com. Came out of nowhere. Wasn't expecting it to be as fun as it was. Like a last minute thing. I had nothing else to watch. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll give this one a try. It's really good. I enjoyed the hell out of this one.
I heard people saying that one was good.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere for me. I want a season 2. And there's enough source material for a season 2. So I would like that one. This is the one that apparently stood out heads and shoulders above everything. And remember, I kind of seclude myself. I sequester myself. I quarantine myself. I don't watch or listen to what anybody else says, what's hot. I go find things on my own. Wisteria Wand and Sword. Oh, excellent. Outstanding. Can't wait for a season. This is going to get a season 2. This was the most popular one this season. This was a low-key one that turned... You'd like this one. It's got a little misery in it.
Oh, I was seeing this one popping off over the summer, and I did want to check it out.
This one's good. You would like this one. Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. This dude literally poisons people to death.
Ooh, that's
glorious. And he gets the dark it's like low key misery porn with how it starts. So you'll like it with his origin and what goes on with him. This one is great. I look forward to that. And this one was a delight. It was a really light kind of mix of fantasy in the real world. Nobody's way up to an exploration hero. It's actually really nice. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And I would like to see more of that one. These were the ones that stood out for me the most. There are other ones that just fell off completely, which I thought were crap, but I won't get into. These were ones I would recommend the most out of the summer season from anime. And of course, I would also recommend My Hero Academia season 7 because it ended as well last season. But that's ongoing, and it's got one more season to go. So there you go. I just wanted to share that. If Brandon was here, we would have a wider discussion. We would hear what he had to say, but he, as we said, could not make it this evening. All right, so let's go to our next article then. You said this one to come across your radar as well.
Yeah, it came across my radar.
I found this one last night, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm throwing this in there. UN committee criticizes Japanese media may incite violence against women and girls. All right, so what's going on here?
From my understanding, they want them to change the way women are depicted in anime.
And
That's what my understanding is.
Yeah. All right. So niche gamers are a pretty good resource for this kind of stuff because they just give you the nuts and bolts, no opinion. The UN Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. UN can go fuck itself in the ear.
I have the UN article on pull it up.
Has reportedly expressed concerns about Japanese media, specifically anime and manga. Let's be clear. It's specifically anime and manga. And the speculated impact it could have on gender and sex-based violence. Okay, Dermy, we've had what? 40, 50 years of anime and manga? 40, 50 years of tits and ass and all kinds of female actual positive representation throughout the media. Where does this come from that they're even bringing this up? It's ridiculous.
If it's what I believe it is, it's because there's not enough fat people.
There's always fat people. There was a small show this season. Elf Girl Eats Too Fucking Much. It's only 12 minutes long, and I don't want to see fat elf girls.
She's attractive fat.
No, she isn't.
What I'm trying to say, what I mean by when I say fat people, I mean the ugly fat people.
Oh, okay. And I don't know what this show is from, Telescope.
I don't know, but I like it.
Well, hey. There you go. According to free speech advocate and politician Yamada Taro, the Japanese Cabinet Office Gender Equality Bureau and Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed, damn, that's a mouthful, confirmed the contents of their meeting with CEDAW. However, nothing further was said about the current state of Japanese media. I mean, god damn it. Isn't it bad enough that Japanese are already so repressed on all this shit? You want to oppress these poor people some more?
You know what? Why don't we
let them have their edgy, goddammit. Let them have their fan service.
Let them flourish. Quit having the West fucking influence them, because this is all just Western ideology. They're already in tough water. They're already getting forced to sign shit left, right, and center and getting influenced left, right, and center. Just let them go. Quit doing this to the poor people. Let them be degenerates.
Listen. There's already been a decrease of ecchi-themed and harem anime over the past few years. There's less and less of it, less fan service going on, or less, let's just say, I call it A tier, S tier fan service. Like B tier is underwear and jiggles. Beyond B tier, exposed flesh. More than just a shot of an ass. B tier can also have ass shots. They still do that. But beyond that, you get more. And we're not talking hentai. We're talking regular shows where, titties are everywhere. There's already been a decrease in that. Okay. And I know because yes, if I see a show going to have titties in it, I'm going to check it out. I'm hardwired to. I'm a guy. I like boobs. I'm going to watch it. Now, half the time they're joking. Sometimes they throw in some random shit to the story and it's kind of put in there. But most of the time it's just jiggle fest, and which is still fine. Even though I go, come on, just lower the frame, just take that, stand up out of the water. It's a bath scene. Just stand up. Everybody's happy, but we're not happy. But they already reduced that shit. What more do you want? What more do you want?
They want, when I say like fat, I mean it like the ugly fat. They don't want you to have the attractiveness. They want everybody to be gender neutral, non-binary bodies. They want all this stuff. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to enjoy life. They don't want you to have your buddy girls.
Boobs heal the world.
Yeah.
Boobs heal the world.
Why do you think female VTubers, the vast majority of them, care how their tits look? They're very particular on their tits for a reason. Where's the ugly VTuber models? Where are they?
On Twitter?
No. Well, okay, yeah, on Twitter, but because most of them actually don't. Those are V-tweeters. That's another story. Top tier VTubers are attractive, sexy individuals. Even the guys, they know what they need to do. They need to have attractive bodies. They need to have attractive outfits. The furries, they get their own furry things, but the furries like what they see over there. Everybody has what they like. but they're always attractive in some regards. They're never the non-binary, fat, overweight, monstrous creature things that these people want.
Mhm. Yeah.
They're never Homer Simpson.
No. No. So I agree with you. This is an attempt by the West to try and force Japan to basically bend the knee to become one of them. And because here's the thing, and we've talked about this before, Japanese culture is very insular. They've managed to retain their cultural beliefs, they've managed to retain their sense of self in all the stuff, and their natural cultural tendencies are highly resistant to this Western activist bullshit, both in terms of their own suppressive tendencies and their love of their culture. So this is
Yeah.
the UN. This is the UN being the listen. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion about those who probably watch our content. The UN doesn't need to exist anymore. It serves no
I hate
purpose.
them.
It's a criminal organization who is taking up real estate. And listen, if the rest of the world loves the UN so much, why don't you go bring it over to Brussels? Huh? Just why don't you build a new place, have it happen in Brussels? We don't want it here in America
Take it to
anymore.
Sweden. Take it
And
to
I
the neutral areas.
and I I,
I don't
I
want it.
damn sure know New Yorkers don't want that fucking building in their city anymore. They fucking hate that building and all the bullshit it brings with it.
So I pulled up the article you have to look
Mhm.
deeper into it because I was curious, like, what are they specifically calling out? Yeah, we were right.
Yeah.
Their concerns are over pornography, video games, manga, and other animated productions may incite violence against women and girls based on gender and sexual orientation.
Oh my god.
Effectively, it further recommended effectively implementing existing legal measures and monitoring programs to address the production and distribution of pornography, video games, and animation productions that reinforce discriminatory gender stereotypes and reinforce sexual violence against women and girls.
All right, all right. You know what? Japan needs to have babies, and this stuff will make men horny and go want to have babies. And girls like it to do, dude. How much it is a thing. The girls like to look at the porn as much as the guys. That's what's real.
Again, do you think the VTubers are
Mm.
making these girls look this way because because of just the guys? They
No,
like it.
girls like it too.
They like looking at it too.
Yeah.
It's the guys help out. Don't get me wrong. The
Yeah.
degenerate guys love it, but they like it too. The amount of VTubers I have sat there and listened to talk about some of the things they do when they're alone with each other and some of the things they talk about and what they like to look at. Jesus Christ. I'm like, I want to be there. I never will be there, but I want to fly on that wall.
Oh man. Oh man.
There's a bunch of VTubers recently went to Japan. They're independent VTubers, but they went to Japan to go do their own little thing,
Mhm.
hang out, have fun. And they even tweeted it out on Twitter. Yeah, one of the girls was in the shower and she didn't realize that I was on the other side of the paper wall and she was giving me a sexy dance without realizing it. And it's like, I wish I was on that wall.
I thought you were going
And
to
one of
say
the girls,
I thought you said they did the thing where the other girl will walk up behind the other girl and they like grab the tits like they do.
oh, they do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's just a natural thing. They'll
Yeah.
openly talk about it. And then one girl sleeps nude. Always sleeps in the nude. And she's done IRL streams without showing off her face. Baby got back and a fit, nice body.
Sex sells.
Sex sells.
Sex sells. Very, very, very simple equation. Very simple idea. Very simple idea. So yeah, this is more one world bullshit, Leviathan bullshit, trying to influence cultures and abolish cultures. The one culture. The one culture. Yeah, it's not. They're not going to be successful. The UN is a paper tiger. They have no influence. They have no power. Everybody ignores them unless you let them do something. Because UN has no
What can the UN
authority.
even do?
UN has no authority over anything. That's and most people know and understand that. So
I think
UN is bullshit.
most people use it as as the blustering tiger that it is. It's like we think that you did bad things, and it's like, okay, what you gonna do about it?
We'll send a UN peacekeeping force.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
actually hide our kids.
right. Try that in America, huh? Either way, so yeah, UN, you go fuck yourself. Nobody cares what you think, and I'd like to see you try and stop the next to the video game industry, the most powerful industry in Japan, anime, manga, light novels. I'd like to see you try. Like to see you try. All right, I got one more thing. You also got one more thing too, right? You want to give your thoughts on the
Yeah,
Netflix Gundam?
yeah.
Why don't you do that first? Why don't you do that first?
Okay, so I recently saw well, it's not Netflix. It is actually like Bandai Namco, but
Yeah,
Netflix has like special rights with them and
yeah.
puts out some
It aired on
Gundam
Netflix.
series. Yeah,
It's
it
like what we
aired on
said.
Netflix.
They're the
Was
distributor. They're distributor.
yeah, Gundam
Requiem.
Requiem of Revenge. And I got to be honest, it wasn't awful. It was
Hmm.
actually pretty darn good. The CGI animation was designed for a Japanese speaking audience, and you can tell it.
The
The
lip
mouths don't match.
syncing. The lip.
The
Oh,
lip syncing,
oh.
it's slightly off, and you can
Uh,
see it, and it's like, that's not good. What
yeah.
the human bodies and the humans don't look amazing. The
Hmm.
mechs are fantastic.
Well,
They do
CGI
a
mech stuff. That's easy. That's child's play,
What they
man.
do really well, though, is they instill the fear of a Gundam
Hmm.
directly into you, because 'cause
Okay.
you're really just following everyday troops. Like, yeah, you have this
Xeon
leader who's
grunts.
yeah, Zeon you're really just following Zeon Grunts. Your main character, yes, is the leader of a special wolf brigade of like Zeon Grunts that are like really strong. They're capable of doing a lot of really cool stuff, but but in the grand scheme of things, they're not that important. Like, none of this story is super important. It's not going to have an overall impact on the rest of the
So
world.
let me see if I understand. So essentially, it's this has to be a one rando unit that a Gundam crunched in a battle.
Essentially, yes. What it is, it's like, I believe it's towards the end of the battles on Earth.
Mhm.
So Xeon is starting to like lose control and they're starting to leave. The Gundams are starting to come in and crush them. And they instill that terror of a Gundam right away. They instill this fear that they impose right after this massive battle in which you're winning. You just release your Zaku's. You're winning. Nothing can stop you. You took this base back. Everything's good. Late at night, a Gundam appears, tears them apart
Mhm.
one by one. You get to see the decimation that a beam saber and a beam weapons can cause. They do that really well of instilling this terror and instilling why these mechs were so powerful and why they needed to be stopped. Well,
Mhm.
not stopped, but
But
why
they
they
were,
turned the tide.
yeah, yeah. All right, so
And
but that's essentially it then. I mean, there's no compelling character work. There's no really compelling
there is
story.
some comparative character work
Okay.
in two characters. Well, three characters. I'll say there's three really good characters. The main character, I'll say she's the bottom of the three. She's not anything to write home about, but she's not she is girl boss, but there's a reason she's girl boss. She is a new type. She doesn't like
Okay.
to be called a new type, but they do say you're a new type. You have the abilities to do this stuff. You have the abilities to recognize these things. You are psychic. That means you are stronger than most normal people, but she doesn't like to talk about it. She doesn't think of herself as being anything special. She is capable, she is strong,
Mhm.
but and she has her own story. She was recruited into the military. She was a mother. Her husband just died in a battle recently. She wants to get home to her kid. She used to be a violinist and play in an orchestra, but she is where she is now because of the because of the war effort. That's
Okay.
perfectly fine. Uh, the other good character is actually an old friend of hers that comes in halfway through, who's this grizzled old black guy who's kind of fun, joyous. He does retell some of like her past and builds up on her. He cares about her. He's kind of this more humanizing element to it all. And he's a really good character in his own right. He does some really cool stuff. He's not capable at everything, but he's a mechanic. That's what he is. And he's there to like
Okay.
help her out where she needs it. And then the last and final good character is he's not a general, but he's a commander of a specific post, because halfway through they end up going to a recycling facility, and the commander there doesn't want them there at all. They have too many mouths to feed already. They're trying to keep low, keep quiet. It's just a recycling facility. We cut shit up, we send it out, go away. And at first he comes off as kind of a dick, but as time goes on, you understand why he is the way he is. It's not because he's a coward or a dick. It's because he's trying to keep these people safe. He's trying to keep these people alive. There's civilians there. There's everyday people there. He actually has like a story element to who he is as a person. But all in all, again, there's nothing to write home about. There's one obnoxiously awful character. Pink hair, tattoos everywhere, yells, always angry.
Mm.
Also, I don't know fucking why, has a trans flag lanyard on her armor, on her like military thing. I don't know why.
There,
It's
that
something I
that
found out. It's like,
that that's
why
the
do you have that?
that's DEI bullshit right there. That's what that is.
But
Let's
here,
just get
here
it in there. Reason.
the reason you're probably right. It's DEI just to get it in there. But the reason why I'm like, what? Who? I
That
hate
doesn't
her
exist
so
in that
much.
world. It doesn't exist in that
Yeah,
world.
it doesn't. But I hate her so much. I hate her so much. She's angry, obnoxious, yells. That's all she is. And there's a perfect moment to give her a humanizing element. Perfect moment to actually give her characterization other than
Mhm.
angry, yelling bitch, is when she's realizing that her entire platoon's dead. Everybody from her section is gone, and she's all that's left. And she's talking to this the doctor people that go around, because there's one with them. He's a decent character, but he's again nothing to write home about. She's
Mhm.
talking to him, and she's like having that emotional moment where you could break down and cry and show that there's more to you than just anger. There's more to you than just rage.
Mhm.
Instead, she just chooses more rage, and it's like you're a nothing character to me. You're obnoxious. You're awful. The story, all in all, again, it's not
Kinda
bad. It's
just
not good.
but it's not really a Gundam story. It's in the
It's a
end.
Gundam story from the perspective of the Zaku's during the war,
But
during the
but
main war.
like you said, in the end, it's just another unit that gets crunched by Gundam. It's there to show you the horror of a
Well,
war. It's more a Gundam horror
yeah,
war
it's there to
story,
show.
but it
Yeah, and children being forced to do
but it
battle and stuff like
doesn't
that.
add anything really to the Gundam universe, does it? It's just
Not really.
not
It
really.
doesn't really add anything. It is
Yeah,
you don't need to watch it. It's not requirement. It is, here's a little small story. Eh.
yeah, yeah. Well,
I give it I'd give it, the more I thought about it, I was saying 7 out of 10 at one point, 6.5 out of 10. Like, it's not awful, but it's nothing to write home about.
I am not wasting my time with this. I got better things to watch. And a lot of things I have watched in the past. Listen, I'll admit this. I like romance in my anime. I like it when characters get together. I like it when they struggle to find the relationship. I like sometimes a little bit of a triangle here and there. Who's going to get win this? And some shows do it well, some shows don't. Now, good old Chill Rant's going to give us their idea of the 10 best romance, 10 best anime that blend romance and action. I've seen about at least a little over half of these. I don't know where you are, Dermy. So let's judge these the best we can. You up for that? Feeling up for that?
Sure.
Okay. Listen, I didn't get to torture Mustang with a top 10 this week, so I got to torture not Mustang. I mean Samuel. I didn't get to torture Samuel with a top 10 this week, so I get to torture you.
I will say there's only one anime on that top that I have been wanting to watch, but I haven't had a chance.
All right. This one, Chivalry of a Failed Knight. This was an excellent single season show. I really loved it. I am sorry they didn't do more. You had girls with the bazoombas, fighty, sexy fighting. There was a bit of it was this guy and this girl, but I think she was also into him and she might have been too. This was a good one. Have you ever seen this one?
No.
Chivalry of a Failed Knight. All right. Then all I could say is essentially, this dude right here, everybody thinks he's a failure, but in fact, it's one of those one where everybody thinks the protagonist guy is a failure, but in fact, he's mastered a certain type of fighting that just doesn't register on their scales of power. So in fact, he's a massive badass. And this chick right here, the pink-haired, red-haired one, she's one of those prodigies from her kingdom. And this one is just a senpai with lightning abilities, and she's just also sexy right there. So it's one of those
Who's
type
the
of things.
white-haired one?
I forget. It's been a lot of years. I only watched it once because I had
Listen, I
hoped
have
there'd
a
be
thing for
more.
white hair, platinum
Oh,
hair
oh,
girls. I
listen,
don't know
listen,
why.
listen, listen, listen. Silver-haired anime chicks. Ooh, ooh, get out of my way. I will throw you. I will throw you over the bridge to get to a silver-haired waifu. I will throw you over the bridge any day of the
Mhm.
week. But
In one of the mangas I'm reading right now is there's a silver-haired waifu, and it's like, throw everybody aside. I know there's like this weird it's doing the
mhm,
whole love triangle thing, and the
mhm.
main protagonist doesn't understand how to do girls. Throw everybody else out. Choose the silver-haired one. She has the best story, and she's attractive.
Yeah. Now I never finished this. I never went to like I think it's a light novel series or I don't know. So that means that would be hard for me to read it. But I always wanted more. This one was cool. I thought it was great. I do recommend this one. For a single season, it's good, it's fun. The action is fantastic. The animation is great. I like this one. So this is a good one. I don't know best all time, but it's a good show. So I do recommend that. All right. Number 9, uh Mayo, Arch Enemy and Hero. I've heard of this one, but I've passed it up many times. You ever seen this one?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Only had one season. I passed up, so I
When
cannot
when stuff
talk
is
to it.
focused on romance, I
Well, this is total a romance one. I knew right away.
Mhm.
So, but this one over
It
here, the
looks
first
like
one,
it.
this is action based primarily.
I probably
So,
have I probably would have watched that first one.
yeah.
I've never seen it,
Well,
so
when it came out in to see here, damn, it didn't show it here, but it showed it that one there. Anyway, all right, going on. I don't watch anything that's a Romeo and Juliet ripoff. I don't watch that
same.
shouldn't even be on there. It shouldn't even be on there. I hate that kind of stuff. So I can't really speak to this one. But they're trying to show, oh, look, we're a and I'm sorry. You're gonna break out something from the mid 2000s when honestly, that's that kind of moment where anime
Anime
leveled
was
up,
real hit or miss.
real hit or miss, big time, and it leveled up a couple years later, big time, and things are better. Ah, we know
Okay,
ReZero.
ReZero. We know
ReZero.
ReZero.
Rem is love, Rem is life. Rem is
Rim is
best
love,
girl.
Rim is life. I'm so
Yeah.
I by the end of it, I was like, yeah, Rim is love, Rim is life.
Rem is love, Rem is life. There is a lot of
Nobody else
romance
matters
going on
but
here.
Rim.
Yeah, thank you. Well, welcome to the Church of Rem. Welcome to the Church of Rem. We are happy to have you.
And it's not
Um,
just because she has the bigger tits, it's because
she's a fantastic
she's
character.
yeah.
I mean, loyal, loving, will murder everybody that tries to murder you. Hey,
Yeah, I'll
she
we are in agreement. Rim is love, Rim is life.
Rem is love, Rem is life, and she just wants to have your babies. I mean, hey, man, Rem is love. So yes,
We can
uh,
have demon babies together, don't you worry.
yeah, I will make demon babies all year long. Um, so now this now I love ReZero. Season 3 just started. Of course, I've got another month. I got another 2 months before I get to actually no into next season. It's a double season, so I'm not going to get to watch season 3 until next year when it finishes. Because I after watching season 1, you can understand you don't want to piecemeal this shit. You must watch it straight through. So
You have to pay attention.
you have to pay attention. So, I mean, Subaru, he's got a harem going on. He's got stuff to deal with. Uh, it's got the romance angle is great. Although we just if you want to hear us really talk about it, you can go watch our take. We did it. It was what we did 2 months ago. We did ReZero. So we've talked about it heavily. We both agree it is great. The romance is well done. The action is superb when they do it because it's through you have a hero who's not a fighter. So, especially in season 1, he has to do things right now. Things change in season 2, but it's fantastic. So this is a good one. We already recommended it once.
Mhm.
What's next? Oh, have you seen the Ancient Magus' Bride? Have you seen this one?
I started it from the I think
Hmm.
yeah, from the no, I was watching Deer King.
Hmm. Okay,
The Deer
uh,
King is what I always get it mixed up between because of how
because
they
he has the
the
horns. He has the horns.
yeah, because of the horns. I
All right,
started the Deer King and I never finished it.
I've seen
I
both
was like
seasons.
very beginning. Mhm.
It's a good show, but god damn, it's slow. And unless this is the show that even I would need to go back and rewatch it because it's good but forgettable, and the romance is really weird in it, and the action is not that great. So this doesn't belong on this list. It's a decent show,
I've been
but it
wanting to
doesn't
watch
belong
it.
on this.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been wanting to watch
Mhm.
it, but I just haven't had the
It's an
chance.
interesting show with an interesting take on uh the magical world and the spirit world and fae and stuff like that and spirits and all kind of and basically mythological creatures or folktale creatures. It's an interesting show and the characters are good. It's just the slow points are really slow and the romance is really odd. I mean, it's definitely a romance thing, but the way they go about it, I mean, the Elias, the Magus, he is a creature we don't really know his full origins, and he doesn't really know emotion. So he's fascinated with
Hmm.
with Chise, and she's got her own thing going on. So in the second season, there's some they introduce a whole slew of new characters and a mystery. And if that, I don't, you know what? I didn't even finish the second season. I didn't finish it. I got bored.
Okay.
I got bored. I didn't finish it. I'd have to go back. But so it's good, but it does not belong in this because the action is sparse. There's no real action in this show. It's very sparse. It's at high points of the story, is what it is, and it's not even that great. So it's okay, but I wouldn't put it on this list. I do recommend giving it a watch, though. It's not a bad show. It's just it's dense. That's what it's very dense. Um, hey, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Doesn't matter which route you take. It's all there. It's got everything. We love Fate Stay Night around here. Ray, I'm a Ray girl. You're a Sakura girl, so you know what? Everybody's happy. You can take Sakura. I'm gonna take
And I watched all of
not Ray, Rin. I'll take Rin.
Rin.
You can have
Rin.
Rin. Yeah,
You
you can
like
take
Rin? I
Rin.
was like, who the
Yeah.
hell's Ray? Oh.
Sorry, they're all Rays in the end, aren't they?
Listen, I love Sakura, and then I saw Fate Stay. I'm altered. I
Uh
can't remember what it's called. The darker one.
oh,
The movies.
Apocrypha.
No, not that. That's
Oh, oh, oh,
the Fate Stay Night. What it's all about. Sakura.
Heaven's Feel.
Yeah, I saw the Heavens Feel. That shit got dark even for me.
Yeah, I know that gets real dark. Its ending is fucked up.
Yeah.
That
It broke
that's
my
why.
heart.
I'm telling you. Unlimited Blade Works, best route. Limited Blade Works,
It
best
is the
route.
best route, but for because I'm a sick fuck and I love Sakura so much, I choose Sakura every time.
Dude, they grafted Archer's arm to
I
him, and
know, but
he's
it's for
fighting.
Sakura.
Oh god, it's all fucked up. It's so fucked up. Hey,
I
all
must
right,
save
all right.
Sakura.
So Face Day Night, fantastic. This is wrong though. There are 3 seasons. They did do Heaven's Feel. They just broke it up into 3 movies. Is what they did.
Yeah.
There are multiple. So Screen Rant, you prove yourself fake
Well, no,
again.
is it unblended?
No, they
Unlimited Blade
did the
Works
full
2
Heaven's
seasons?
Feel. They didn't just do. They did an original. There was originally a Heaven's Feel movie, but they did 3 full movies to cover the whole thing, not just cramped it up. So
No,
there's
I
a
was
whole.
talking about because they have Unlimited Blade Works here. They're not just they're not talking
Well,
about
they just
Stay
used the
Night.
poster. They just used the poster
No, they
for
even
Blade Works.
tag Unlimited Blade Works. So doesn't
Mm.
Unlimited Blade Works have 2 seasons?
Yes, it's 25 episodes is what it is, and there's
So
also
that might
there's also an Unlimited Blade Works movie, but
that might
you
be
what?
what
Oh
they're
wait,
doing.
they're saying a little bit. Well, listen, Fate Stay Night also has romance. Limited Blade
Yeah.
Works has romance, and so does Heaven's Feel. So you're right. You're right. It's just
this is
you're right.
shill rant showing that they're just shills. They
They're
don't know what the
idiots.
fuck they're talking
If
about.
you're gonna say Fate Stay Night, don't just say Unlimited Blade Works. Say the whole goddamn thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I missed that. I was looking just right at the meat of it.
If you
But you're
mean
right.
you need to be very specific in this because there's 3
Yeah.
iterations, and without knowing which one you're talking about, I'm not going to be able to know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and each one is romance, but it's romance with a specific girl. So that's why they're routes. It's a light novel route thing. Okay. Number 4, Yona of the Dawn. Have you ever
I've
seen
heard of
this
this.
one?
I don't
It's
think I've
in our
seen it.
intro. It's in our there's a clip from it in our intro. This is a fantastic series, but the romance is barely there. with the episodes that cover the part of the manga, which I think the manga has been on hiatus for a long time. I'd have to check. It's one of those ones that everybody wants it to keep happening, but they never did. The Yona of the Dawn is fantastic, but the romance is barely there in the first in the one season we got. It's barely there. So I don't know how it qualifies on this because nobody's trying to romance Yona. They're not there yet. It's hinted at a lot, but it doesn't become a thing yet. So it doesn't belong on this list. The action's outstanding. This is a great show. I love this one. I've rewatched it a couple of times, and I resist going to read the manga because I keep hoping they'll animate the rest of it. I just keep hoping. This is a good one. I do recommend this one because I wouldn't have put it in our intro if I didn't like it so much. It's a great coming of age story. A princess who has everything taken away from her and has to learn basically had to fight back along with her bodyguards and then also rally and take back what was stolen from her. Great stuff. Beautiful, beautiful show. I highly recommend this one. It's good shit. Darling in the Franxx. Have you ever seen Darling in the Franxx?
I've been wanting to because I've seen this character all over the place, and I've been wanting to know what the hell she is.
I won't. Let's just say it's one of those Earth fighting aliens type of shit things. There's some mecha involved. In the end, this show let me down. In the very end, I did not like how it ended.
Yeah, okay. I have not seen it, but I've seen the like.
You've seen the porn
up on my. Well, I'm yes, because this girl. That's why I was able
dude.
to.
There was a lot of cosplay porn of this chick when this show came out.
Oh, dozens. I remember why I never watched it.
Why?
I hate the look of the mecha.
It's not a bad show. It's just the ending. It falls apart at the end, in my opinion. And the romance, the romance it's very strange. There's a lot of. I mean, it's not bad. It's just I don't like it because
check it out.
I think it was 25 episodes. I think it was 25 episodes. It's a self-enclosed series. Once you reach the end, it's done. It's self-enclosed. One run, you're done. I just didn't like the ending. I thought it kind of fell apart. The way they did the conclusion, all that stuff, just crapped out. And I didn't like what they did to the characters, the side characters. I didn't like any of it. It did not resonate with me. But the action was good. The romance was.
I might check it out, but I want my mechs to look like mechs. I don't want them to have mouths.
Can understand that. Hey. Yeah. We were just talking about Rumiko. Inuyasha, one of the foundational isekai stories. Hell, it's called a we had a term to it. It was a feudal fairy tale. Its subtitle was Inuyasha, a feudal fairy tale, and that implies romance. Inuyasha Kagome, it's a great romance, and even though they made a sequel series, it didn't ruin it. The sequel series based on Sesshomaru's twins, it didn't ruin it. It's not as great, but it doesn't butcher the original. So I can go back and watch the original Inuyasha. I've seen Inuyasha so many times. I'm waiting right now because last year they finished the remasters on the Blu-ray last year for the original series. I'm waiting for a complete collection. That's what I'm waiting for right now. When they give me seasons 1 through 7 plus final cut plus the movies, you can get the movies in a single pack, but I want everything. I want a nice big box that says I just paid you a lot of money for everything in one thing. Maybe through an art book or something like that. That's what I'm waiting for because I love Inuyasha. I think it's a fantastic series.
I like it. I haven't seen it all the way through, like start to finish. I've seen episodes and it's like it's good. I just haven't sat down and watched it.
It's a haul. I mean,
it's one of those behemoth animes that you have to watch, but you have to sit there and actually watch it.
There's only if you cut out all the filler, there's only about 100, little over 100 episodes if you cut all the filler. Not that big.
I mean, compared to One Piece, it's microscopic.
And the fact that they remastered it, it's now widescreen, all of it, not 4:3. Because seasons 1 through 7 for years were 4:3, but and then the movies and Final Cut were all 16:9. But with the remaster, all widescreen, beautiful, colorful, HD. So I look forward. I want this. This is something I want very much.
I think we can predict what number 1 is because
Yeah, you saw it on the thing. Yeah,
and I gotta be honest,
SAO. I'm an SAO fanboy. I will admit it without shame.
I'm a SAO fanboy. Love SAO. I've seen every SAO thing so far.
I just watched
I don't
the
think
main
it's.
series. Yeah,
I mean, like the main series. Like I've
yeah,
finished the entire show.
yeah. Well, they are working on another one right
There's
now.
another one that they're making.
They've got multiple projects right now, but there is. I did read an article a month or so ago where they said they are going to do one more arc with Kirito, Asuna.
Well, they were supposed to be over by now.
Well, there was supposed to be one. There is one more light novel arc where they do a survival game. Yeah, there's one more survival
I thought
arc.
it ended.
No. There's one more after Underworld. There's one more where Kirito, Asuna, and Alice are put into some sort of survival game. And that kind of things. But they're doing one more. There is one more real arc coming, not the movie remakes or alternate that they were doing that some people were cooming over. And we're not talking Gun Gale. We're not talking that one that they just released another season of right now. They're doing that. I'm talking the main line. Listen, Sword Art Online, it's massively divisive. You either love it or hate it. It's one of those things, right? You either love it or hate it.
I love it. I just don't
it.
think it deserves to be on number 1 spot of this.
Oh no, I don't think
Inuyasha.
Yeah, Inuyasha is a deeper story.
Yeah, like Sword Art Online, the love story is good and stuff, but
here's the thing.
Not number 1.
Kirito and Asuna's romance, their romance takes a massive break in the first Underworld arc.
I would say in Gun Gale, and then Gun Gale is when it first
takes
that match.
Well, it takes a break. Well, it takes a break there, but I mean that's a short break. But we're talking that's only half a season. That's only the back half of season 2, because the first half of season 2 is all about the hunt for Asuna. But I'm talking when
Hunt for Asuna is the
first part of season 2. Oh no, second half of season 1. Sorry, you're right. Second half.
Second half of season 1.
For some reason, I was
second half of season 2 is.
You're right. That's
Asuna's
just
story, and then
that's Mother's Rosario. Yeah, which I love. Mother's Rosario. I love that arc. So that I will tear up like a little bitch at the end of Mother's Rosario. I tear up like a little bitch every time. That's heartbreaking. That is just breaks me every time, dude. But then you take season 2 is you're right. Season 2 is a complete break from their romance, and season 3, when it's the hunt for when Kirito gets trapped in Underworld for the first half of it, there's no romance at all. And now War for the Underworld, that is total romance because Asuna's trying to get Kirito back, and it's all do that. But and the very end of it is a romance. But there are, even though the Asuna Kirito romance is prevalent, there are large swaths of the show where it's not present or even a part of the story. Hell, first season of it's season 3, it's bromance time.
Yeah,
it's bromance
You're their best
time.
buddy there.
Yeah, with Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh, it's romance time. It's bromance time there, and it's not gay romance. It's just bromance. That's like
they're just buddies.
Yeah, best friends. So this, honestly, it belongs in the list, but it shouldn't be number 1.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be. I agree with you. And you're talking I have watched all the way through at least 5 times at this point.
I haven't done that. I've done 3.
Well, I'll get the urge and I'll just start and I'll just go through. And because I enjoy it so much.
This is on the ranking of some best openings.
The season 1 opening theme is fantastic, but then the final one in War for the Underworld, I'm on a kick right now where I will listen to that over and over again for like an hour. I'm honestly, it's honestly used as a theme for the opening theme for like one of my stories now. It's taken over from an old one. I love that one also because it fits with kind of something going on in that story. So I love they have some of the best themes, opening themes, fantastic,
Mhm.
so good, so good. All right, so they aren't entirely wrong with some of these on this list, but some of them either they're out of place or in some cases I don't think they belong at all. So
And there's probably better. There's much
yeah,
better.
yeah.
This is some. Listen, it's Screen Rant. This is more than
This is
likely
a fake fan
the
list. Let's
fake.
be honest.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
fake
fake
fan
fan
list.
list. A
Yeah.
good example of that is Fate being on the list and the way it was.
Mhm.
Not that like it shouldn't be on the list either. It should be on the list, but then you have the whole.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Fate
Yeah.
Stay
I mean,
Night, Fate Zero,
and
Fate Stay Night, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. What are we talking here?
yeah, and throwing Darling in the Franks on there. It's like, oh, let's grab what was a popular one in that moment and throw it on here. Nobody gives a shit about Darling in the Franks anymore. That is not a show, in my opinion, that has held any sort of anime relevance right now. It has nobody's going back and
And
watching Darling in the Franks. At least I don't
and
think
this
so.
whole thing of like it's supposed to be balancing romance and
Action.
action. G Gundam, it should be on that list probably.
Hmm.
Balancing the romance because the Rain and Domon romance is a key factor in that entire
Yeah.
thing.
It's how the final battle wins because of
Yeah,
their connection. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I could
Saying I love you.
I mean go back. Ow. Go back. There's so many things you could go to. This is a cheap list, is what it is. It's a cheap list. Grab a few big names that do belong on it type of list, but then names that don't. And like you said, a perfect example of not understanding by throwing in Fate Stay Night. Try and Ancient Magus' Bride doesn't even belong on this list, even though it has romance in it. And there are a couple on here that are like that number 9, that Mayu Arch Enemy and Hero. That is a massively niche, unknown show. Nobody knows. I only know it because I've gone by it several times and teased the idea of watching it, but then decided not to.
Well, there's like, why didn't you throw essentially Tokyo Ghoul up there? Tokyo Ghoul falls apart after season 1 because they did retarded shit. But a main point of that entire story is the romance between two of the main characters.
Mm.
Is that they love each other and that they
Mhm.
care for each other and they get together at the end and have kids. Why didn't you do that?
I mean, this is exactly why I sort of bring these things up, because I do these top tens, whether it's to torture Samuel and Devil or torture you. I do it to always point out that these shill websites are manned by fake fans, and I
Fuck
want to
Berserk.
point out
Berserk is all about a fucking romance.
revenge for romance, vengeance. Even I know that. Yeah, so I bring it up to point it out that these things are not legitimate, that they are
Mhm.
not they don't actually have anybody with a brain consulting on making them. They just grab popular things or things from a moment or something that's really obscure so they can look like a fan. It's like same with those Star Wars stands who pretend to know real Star Wars. They'll grab the most obscure fucking thing and try to sound profound when talking about it.
You you know, I'm becoming more and more convinced that almost all these people, they're paid by not just by the article, but by the word,
Hmm.
and then how many clicks they have. So that's why they make lists like this and make it sound like they know what the hell they're talking about, but they have like word limits and stuff. Like we have to have these articles out here right now so I can get paid. And it's like
Mhm.
these are all shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't even know what the fuck you're talking
They
about.
don't. They never do. They never do. Not any of this. All right, we're
Well,
done. Oh well,
there
one
was
more
a
thing.
recent, actually, to your point, I think it was a Screen Rant article, and Alpha Omega isn't here, but I hit it on Dermy's one of the last Dermy daily dictations that I did,
You mean triple
which
D's?
will be coming back.
You mean triple D's?
Whatever, it will be coming back. I'm retooling it and reworking it. I'm mainly waiting till after the thing that happens next week.
Yes,
Um,
we're all waiting for the thing that happens next week to get over with, so that the algorithm will go back to normal or somewhat normal.
yeah, somewhat normal, but I'm mainly waiting for that, and I'm working some stuff out on that one. Uh, but Alpha Omega asked me to or brought up this discussion of companies in the West trying to force anime companies Like Crunchyroll trying to force anime
Yeah.
companies to do that.
Yeah,
The
he brought that up
15-minute
to me
episodes.
too, and I said
Mhm,
that would be more of a discussion for us here to do that. Yeah, he asked me that on a Mellow
mhm.
Mondays or
And
on a roundtable. I said, you know what? Ask us that on Anime Odyssey, and we'll probably be able to give you a better take
I
on that.
looked into the article, and what it sounded more like was it's not Crunchyroll trying to force people to make shorter animes. It is like Crunchyroll is doing something stupid. They're trying to do their
Well,
own shorter animes, it sounded
here
like.
I'll keep going, keep going. I have some. I have
Yeah.
actual.
It
I have visible evidence of something like
mhm.
this. Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
And what it was there's a bunch of companies in Japan that are playing around with the TikTok generation and trying
Yeah.
to do stuff with the TikTok generation.
All right. So
That's what it's all about, is they're fighting TikTok and wanting to be a part of TikTok.
I'm gonna go back to live chart, which is what I use when I'm
Mhm.
scouting anime per season, and we go down towards the bottom here. Here are some examples of that. First of all, there's the plus sized elf thing. You know, that's a short thing, 11 minutes. That's nothing. But then down here, you get to something silly right here. Head Start at Birth, 2 minutes 55 seconds, 12 episodes.
Yeah. It hasn't just been Crunchyroll is just getting into this.
Yeah,
It's not this has been a thing that a bunch of companies started doing in Japan because they specifically said we're trying to compete with TikTok now and we don't think we're going to be having anime fans here soon because TikTok. And it's like, no, no, you'll have anime fans. You don't need to be
TikTok is
trying
not
to
gonna last forever. TikTok's gonna have a
TikTok isn't going to last forever, and
it
also
has a
like
sell by date. It's gonna be over one of these days.
yeah,
Trust me.
and all these trying to hit this TikTok generation is not going to make you do better. Actually, continuing with what you were doing is a smarter idea.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I don't remember if it was Screen Man or Shield BR that was doing the article, but they were like, Crunchyroll's doing this, Crunchyroll's doing this, this is all Crunchyroll's fault. And it's like, no, no, actually, Japan's
These are
doing
the
it,
same people that think Crunchyroll makes anime.
and Netflix makes anime.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no,
No, no.
well, actually, Netflix makes some anime, but that
They make their own they
then,
make Western animation. They don't
yeah,
make Japanese anime. They will be a distributor for it. They might give it a little money to get it done,
yeah.
but the studio in Japan's are still the one making the shit. So,
Yeah, when Netflix gets involved, you get Castlevania, which I'll say Castlevania isn't
hit or
bad.
miss, hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
I love parts of it, hate other parts of it.
First season's good. Everything in the middle is eh. Final season's pretty good.
Yeah, final season's really good. That final fight between Trevor and Death, I love that. That's an awesome fight. That's fantastic.
Beautiful fight. Beautiful fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you have Blood of Blood of Zeus.
I didn't bother with that.
Don't
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
don't.
Well, you know who doesn't need to bother with us anymore? The chat, because we're done.
Yeah.
All right, show over. We're here. We're
Mhm.
now. Dermy, what are my choices for December?
So through this whole thing, I have three. Well, I have four, but I've narrowed it down to three because I want to save one for another time.
All right, let me get the calendar so I know what day we're doing this.
Mhm.
All right, so this is gonna be November. Oh, sorry, November, not December, November. I get to choose for December.
Shit, I got screwed. I need to go talk
Oh,
to Brandon.
we actually have to do this a week early because
Yeah,
last Thursday is Thanksgiving.
yeah,
So
that's fine.
November 21st, the same day Star Wars Outlaws gets premiered on Steam. I can't wait for that day.
Oh, that's gonna be wonderful.
That's a video waiting to happen right there.
Oh,
All right. November 21st. What do you got for me?
okay, so your choices are um a trippy drama. All these are relatively short anime. Okay,
Like
relatively
12,
short. I
12,
think
13.
maximum is 14 episodes.
Okay, 12, 13, 14. That's fine. Okay, well.
Yeah. So a trippy drama that is based around a mystery. And
Hmm,
it's trippy for a very specific reason. It's a
okay.
key part of the story that I can't tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Another drama that's very gripping. It's kind of a period piece,
Okay.
deals with some darker themes and stuff like that. Uh and it's one of the things, live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Okay.
And it's a revenge story as well.
Okay.
And the last one, sort of mystery, deals with a little different. Supernatural elements.
Mm.
Supernatural elements with a mystery is the
All right,
easiest way, and it's also another drama.
So our theme is drama and mystery for this one, huh?
Yeah, drama and mystery. Except, well, the second one isn't a mystery. It's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward, but it's really damn
But
good.
it's a period piece, you said, right?
Yeah, period piece.
You know what? Let's go with that one. I usually like period stuff. Let's go with that.
You're going with 91 days, buddy.
I don't know what that is.
91 days. And let me double check something real quick,
All
because
right.
it actually might be 13 episodes.
Well, yeah. Shoot me a page so I know what I'm looking at.
Here,
Not
I can bring it up right now on IMDb.
Okay.
This one came out 2016, 2017.
Ooh, all right. That's my that's like a blank window for me for a lot of stuff because I was in
It's called
transition.
91 Days,
Okay.
and it's very simple. Okay, it takes place basically in the period of prohibition in
Okay.
America,
Okay.
and it's a revenge story where a kid is trying well, now an adult, is trying to take revenge on a mafia family for killing his own family.
Okay. All right.
And
So
it's a really good drama. It's really clever in how it does stuff, and I fucking love it.
okay.
And the
Well,
reason I'm
I've
missing
never seen it,
it's
so you'll get a fresh
yeah,
take.
it's either 13 or 14 episodes, and the reason why I say that is because the last episode, that now that I'm thinking it, is a prequel episode that I think is only in Japanese, and it's like goes all the way back to people being in Italy, kind of
Mm-hmm.
prequel. So
Let me see if I can get it here pretty easy. 91 days. Yep, it's here. Dual audio. Yep, I get it. No problem. No problem. All right then.
and
So,
this is not. I will also say this is not an anime that ends on a high note.
oh, of course, you're it's one of yours, so it's going to be miserable.
To be fair, to be honest and to be fair, the trippy anime ended it on a high note, but I don't think you would have liked it. But it would have been an interesting one.
All right then. So November 21st, we'll be back for another Anime Odyssey. This time when he can make it with Brandon the Anime Guy, 91 days. Hopefully he reschedules. You know, we'll make sure we'll see. We'll let you guys know. Hello, Ariel. We're done now. Sorry, we're ending the show. We're ending the show, and because I didn't get super chats, we will kick the can down the road for scheduling fan choice show. So we will try again at another time. Anyway, all right then. So just a reminder now, I said I remind everybody at the end of the show, people who may be coming in late. January will be our special One Piece episode, and we will be putting together a panel. So stay tuned for that. We will probably announce the panel at the end, hopefully be able to announce a panel in December's episode of Mellow Mondays. And to answer your question, Kaylee Scope, my 24-hour stream will go from the Wednesday before Thanksgiving into Thanksgiving. I'm going to go from 12 noon to noon, basically because it's a good opportunity where I won't be interrupting anybody else running a 24-hour stream in my environment here. At the same time, also, I figure I want to maybe provide some company and entertainment for people who might not be able to have Thanksgiving with family, because sometimes that's the thing. You might not have anybody hang out with, might not have anywhere to go. So I will be there to hang out with you for 24 hours, playing games, having people come on, going over articles, running sort of semi-normal streams. It's going to be a whole mix of stuff, and we're going to see if I can do it. And hopefully, we'll have a good time. But as always, thank you, Dermy, and fuck you, for being here. Now I'm going to say it correctly. You've got your 24-hour stream on Saturday. What time are you starting?
On Saturday, I'm going to be starting. I think either about.
I'm an hour ahead of you.
1 p.m. Probably in the afternoon.
My time or your time?
My time. So
All
2
right,
to 2.
so that's 2 p.m. my time.
Yeah, 2 to
So
2 is probably what
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
be
2
doing.
to 2?
That way, when I end, it should just be going into your show.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
that's
should.
that. Yeah, that's starting. That's roundtable starts at 2 p.m. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah, so then you guys can hop over there. That's gonna be a hectic time. It's gonna be like a 24-hour Saturday.
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
just gonna be
I'll
sitting in
I'll
that
be there
area.
off and on. I mean, I'll
Mhm,
be there. I'll probably, depending on what you're doing. I don't either. If you're running like a solo game, you don't need me there, but I'll be there off and on. And then I won't be there for drive-in, but I'll probably come back after drive-in and after dinner. Then I'll sleep for
mhm.
a while, and then I'll come
And
back
then
in the
how
morning
I do
before
my 24-hour
roundtable.
streams, there's gonna be like third I allot myself at least like 30-minute breaks every so often, especially like at the beginning, because I try to break it up into four rotations due to YouTube's fuckery, because
Hmm.
you can't go longer than 12.
Hmm.
So
No,
you break it
not
down to
what. But how do these other things go? Leave their channels on for hours and hours and hours.
you can't scroll back.
Oh,
So you can keep going, but it doesn't record past 12.
oh,
So you break
okay,
it so, like, that's why when you get,
okay,
like, EFAP in there 24 hours, they break it up into 3,
okay, okay. Well, that's
and
good to know. That's
it's
good to know
mhm,
for when I do it. Okay, I wasn't
yeah,
sure. I wasn't sure because I knew they kept going. So I kept thinking, why do people keep breaking it up? I don't understand why.
mhm.
That's why.
You
Okay.
I'm breaking up into 4 things, and I usually do, like maybe I'll give myself a 15-minute break to go do something here or there, but then
Me
30-minute
me
breaks in
me
for
me take a
food
shit.
and yeah, I need to take a shit, something like that.
Hey, for
30-minute
mine. If
breaks
I can get
for
my
food and
pregame
stuff.
dump in before mine, I'll be good for the whole 24 hours. So I get a pregame dump in before we get
Mhm.
going. So I'll be good on that.
But, like, 30 minutes for food, sometimes I'd have to walk away, and the reason why I chose 1 is because family's gonna be gone that night, so I can be as loud as I possibly can and as hectic. But the drawback is I have to feed the critters the next day, so I have
Mm,
to allow me some time to go outside and feed the critters.
mm, mm.
So,
Well, you'll probably have people on, so there'll be a moment if you have to go do that. Somebody will be on, I'm
mhm,
sure, in the Discord to do something.
I have to make sure to feed those puppies and feed the doggos and
Anyway,
kitties.
so join probably a bunch of us Saturday into Sunday, off and on Dermy's 24-hour stream. There's Ball Busters tomorrow night. I got drive-in Saturday. We're doing Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. And then we alluded to it earlier in the show. Roundtable will be probably a very salty roundtable, at least from my end. We'll be talking gaming industry stuff. Anyway, all right. So thank you everybody for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We thank
Oh, and
you.
don't forget Ball Busters tomorrow night.
I just said that.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Even though you
I
might ban,
completely blanked out.
even though you might ban me tomorrow night from being on. I'm not dressing up.
I'm not
I'm not
I'm not
dressing up.
banning people from coming on, but
Okay. Well, then I'll be
if you
there.
don't wanna come on, you don't have to come on
No, I'll
because
be there.
we're all dressing up.
Great. Then I'll be there undressed up. If you want me to, I'll
Yeah, and
leave my.
you'll be the punching bag.
We'll see about that. Anyway, all right, then I will be there. Great. Okay. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Until then, take it easy.